Well, welcome everyone. It is Super Bowl Sunday and we're going live. Champions on the dot, and I'm going to be bringing on my special guest, a true champion, Brian Holloway, in just a few minutes right now. He's trying to log on to get the picture on Fox, and we will be bringing him on in a few minutes. But I first want to dedicate this show to my good friend, Jim Grunberg, Stanford graduate, classmate of mine. He's the CEO of Seymour Putters, which is if you want to improve your game, your golf game, you got to get a Seymour putter. I mean, it's the best kept secret in golf. And the reason I want to dedicate this to him is, and his girlfriend, Sue Hamilton. Hi, Sue. They're down in Nashville, Tennessee watching, I think, or they might be skiing someplace. But last year, Brian and I did this broadcast. Brian was down in Florida and I was in Tennessee, thanks to Jim Grunberg. So Jim, thank you. Thank you. And I also want to dedicate this to my cousins here in upstate New York, Henry-san, Henry Dotterer, Rumi-san, Rumi Dotterer, Sakura-san, Sakura Dotterer, Joey-san, Joey Dotterer, and Cody-san, Cody Dotterer. And the reason I want to dedicate it to them, this show, is I am in their palace broadcasting. And if it weren't for them, this wouldn't happen. So I want to thank them and send all my love to my cousins. So with that, I want to bring on my special guest, and this is going to be an annual affair, I'm hoping. And he probably has someone that he wants to dedicate this to. So I'm going to bring him on right now. Brian Holloway, welcome, brother.
Hey, this is here we go again. This is really, really, really fun. Really exciting.
Who would you like to, Brian, who's out there that you would like to dedicate this show to?
I think I'd like to dedicate it to the Bill Walsh family and Bill Walsh tribute, because of what he was able to do in introducing a new way to see and experience football. And he brought in such a high level of intelligence that changed the game forever. And to be there, to have watched it all happen and unfold in front of my eyes, it was absolutely fantastic. It was shocking because I knew what I was seeing, and I was like, "This is really insane. This is really they won't be able to stop this because there is no instrument by which they can stop it because he's disrupted all the intelligence." So that was very interesting. So
yeah, well, Coach Walsh, as you know, Coach Walsh recruited you to Stanford, and he also recruited me to Stanford. Unfortunately, he left right after I signed. He said, "I'm going with Mr. DeBartolo with the 49ers," and created that amazing West Coast offense with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and Ronnie Lott on defense. Great teams.
But, Dynasty.
Yeah.
The Dynasty crafters. Yep.
Yep. Well, they're getting ready, Brian, to do the toss here. And do you remember, what was it like when you were in the Super Bowl against the Bears, Super Bowl 20? Do you remember whether you won the toss or not?
I think we lost the toss. It's one of those. It's that part of the game that I don't pay attention to that stuff. I'm paying attention to one thing: when I step on the field and navigating that 46 defense with some of the play selections that I had tremendous disappointment of.
Well, what I'm noticing is there's more camera people out for the coin toss than I've ever seen before. It keeps getting bigger and bigger, the camera crew.
You'll never see more cameras than at this game ever.
Well, I did confirm President Trump is the first sitting president to ever attend a Super Bowl. They've had presidents who have been out of office, but this is the first sitting president. This is history making.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
That's what they said. I assure you there's been some other presidents who are sitting presidents who were at the game very privately.
Oh, you just didn't know.
Yeah, of course.
That's right. There's a lot of security there. And, Lady Gaga played a really beautiful rendition right there in the French Quarter where that terrible tragedy occurred last month. So let's see who won the toss. Let's see. Oh, they just tossed. Who's receiving? Kansas City? All right. Okay, well, there you go. You know what? I feel like you, Brian. I don't remember when Super Bowl 18 with the Raiders versus the Redskins. I don't remember who won this toss. I really didn't care who won the toss personally. That's just me. I don't know how you feel about that, but now.
Well, I always wanted to win the toss because I wanted to be first to punch him in the face.
Well, you bring up a good point. That's something in football, just like boxing. There's no question. The first two or three series, you can tell. Probably you can tell who is going to be right there at the end, or
you're showcasing how you're going to go about an attack, and out of the first two series, you gain a lot of information, and I will be able to know exactly sort of the series of strategies. By the time I go for those first two series, I will know what they're going to do the entire game. But that comes from watching. I mean, I've watched at least 1,000 plays against the defense before I line up and play. So 1,000 plays, that's close to half a season. Yeah.
Well, I remember with Bill Walsh, we talked about Bill Walsh. One of the things that he did, he'd always have a set, 10, 20 plays that he was going to run, the first 10 or 20 plays in offense. Remember that, Brian?
Yeah, well, a couple of things. What that was going to do is it's not only the most sound plays to execute, to be able to show how they're going to respond to the big offense that he has, but it was also going to go and reveal the gaping holes in the defense by him running those plays. And so they were conservative, but they were incredibly thought out. And so that was, I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Yep. Do you think Andy Reid and the Eagles use that same, philosophy, which is, they have a set, first 10 or 20 plays on offense?
Yeah, I want to say yes. And I don't know how much Mahomes has the ability to check off, to go and say, run something else besides what the coach asked. I'm sure he does. In fact, I'm certain he does, because Mahomes is best when he gets to sort of freelance and not be encumbered. And there's some quarterbacks that are really, like Doug Flutie, had to be able to freelance and move. Elway absolutely had to move. There's some quarterbacks that were asked to be a straight drop back, and Tony Easton was one of them with the Patriots, and that wasn't his style of play. His style of play is like he runs and moves. He's sort of like what was it? Clint Eastwood in the Sundance Kid, where he says, "No, I shoot well by moving." And so in those famous scenes,
I just said Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was Robert Redford and Paul Newman.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm saying is, no, I mean that's what did I say? Did I say someone else?
Well, yeah. You said someone else, but it's okay. I'm here to. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, so they're playing these commercials now, and Brian, you were the first to tell me a few days ago that Elon Musk is going to tee up what 3 or 4 commercials that we're going to see.
Yeah, we're going to see 4 commercials, and my expectation is that he's simply going to share some of his findings, and also direct us to a website where we can go see more.
Right.
Because they're going to try to whatever the other side comes out and says, well, that didn't really happen. It's not like that. We'll be able to try to do something, and he will have enough information up there that it allows us to see for ourselves. So
okay. Well, it's good. Here's the kickoff, Brian. We've got the Chiefs are kicking off, and there we go. And I suspect it won't be returned. None of these. That's the one thing. I was a kickoff returner back in the day, and I miss those guys returning kickoffs. But in any event, no return. So they placed the ball at the 25-yard line. Is that correct? 25?
Yeah, I don't know what the
I think it's the 20. It used to be back in our day. It was the 20, right?
Yeah, I think it's absurd. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know what the value is in it.
Well, I can tell you why. I remember coming down on a kickoff and I got knocked out. So there's quite a few injuries. I think that's why they changed the rules. But here we go. Jalen Hurst is under center. Oh, actually, he's in the shotgun. There's a man in motion. Handoff to Jaquan. Spins. A gain, it looks like a gain of 3. So that's an interesting sign there. They interviewed the 2 players that they interviewed before the game, right before the game, were Jaquan Barkley and Patrick Mahomes. And I think that's what we're going to see here tonight. And what are your thoughts about Barkley? How many yards if he rushes for X amount of yards, do the Eagles win, Brian?
Again, he could go for 150, 200 yards tonight and be up by 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. And Mahomes can score 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes, just like Elway.
All right, Jalen Hurst just threw for a first down. So it's it looked like a gain of 10. And now it's first and 10. So
Kansas City won the toss, and then they wanted to kick off.
I don't know if they won the toss. Again, I thought they won the toss, but
that's what you said.
I know, but you know what? This is the first time I've ever done play-by-play. Okay, Hurst is in the shotgun again. Barkley is behind him, actually right next to him on the left. There's slot receivers left. He gives it to Barkley. Sweep right, and about 1.5 yards, 2 yards. So it looks like that's what they're going with Barkley on the first down, and let's see if
they're just feeling everybody out here, and then they're going to go, and you watch. You're going to see a strike. So they're going to go downfield real quick. You watch.
There we go. 2nd and 7. So they gained 3, I guess. I thought it was only 2. It's again shotgun with Jalen Hurst. He passes to Barkley in the flat. It looks like a loss of 3. That's one thing, Brian, that I've read. The Chiefs have a outstanding tackling defense. They know how to tackle. That's something that, unfortunately, a lot of the NFL teams.
Every team knows how to tackle. What are you talking about?
I disagree. I think tackling's a lost art. But anyway, here we go. Jalen Hurst in the shotgun again. It's 3rd and 11. He steps up. He scrambles. He's running. He's going for the first down. He's short. They knocked him out of bounds. He's short by 1 yard. Now this is a question. It's 4th and 1. Are they going to punt or go for it? The tush push. Are they going to go with the tush push?
No, they would punt now.
By the way, I also got a shout out to my girlfriend Lilia Osterloh. Lilia,
Hey,
thank you, because Lilia brought up the tush push. She knows all about this tush push. What is that, Brian? Did you guys have the tush push with the Patriots?
They didn't have it the same way. Basically, it's a play that was exactly like you do in rugby, and they just mastered that play. You can't stop it. It's a great play.
Wow. Just to let you know, Jalen Hurst was in the shotgun. It was 4th and 2. They just threw for a first down, and it must have gotten 30 yards.
4th and 2, they went for it?
They went for it. But hey, look at this, though, Brian. The men in stripes flag.
What?
Yep. I knew. Yes. What? Let's see. They're showing it right now. Let me see. Oh, that's a terrible call.
What is it?
That's a terrible call. I don't know who they're calling it on. I don't, this.
It'll be holding or defensive interference.
No, it looks like, well, you know what? Actually, it's not a bad call. He pushed, it wasn't a bad call. It was, and now they're going to punt. All right. Well, thank God. I was getting ready to get upset. It wasn't a bad call. The wide receiver put his hands in the defensive back's face mask and then caught the ball.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Can't do that. Okay, they just punted. Now the Chiefs are going to have the ball at the, let's see here. Well, they're going for a commercial. So when do you think the Elon Musk commercials are going to run?
It's not going to be running. It's going to be run. We probably will see it by the end of the first quarter, the first one.
Well, right now it's Dunkin' Donuts, I think.
Yeah, they're not going to do. He's not going to do it because people are still getting seated to the game. So he's going to do it when people are, are when the peak is, and there's a peak viewership that they'll be able to see.
I'm looking forward to seeing the camera on the president and to see who is sitting next to the president, because you and I have a side bet. I'm going to say the commissioner of the NFL.
No. It's going to be his family.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. And they're we've got, gosh. Wow, Brian, this is the largest audience I can see here that we've had in a long time. Let me look at the comments. See if anybody's, we don't have any comments yet. If you want to write in, if you have any questions for Brian or for myself, you can type in. But Brian, it looks like we're breaking records tonight. They don't want to, hopefully, I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady and I have similar personalities. And by the way, we may have a special guest at halftime who knows Tom Brady personally. Actually, he knew Tom Brady when he was in high school at Sarah High School.
What?
We might be bringing in a special guest at halftime to give us a few Tom Brady stories when he was back at Sarah High School in California.
Wow, how about that?
Yep.
Was that in Southern Cal?
No, that's Northern Cal. Sarah High School, that's where Barry Bonds went to high school. Lynn Swann went to high school.
Where's
it? Tom Brady, that's in San Mateo, right? Just north.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How about that?
It's a Catholic high school, and they've had great tradition, football tradition.
Wow.
Yep. And as they said, Barry Bonds, who wasn't too bad of a baseball player.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, the guy, they're showing that the Eagle receiver put his hand right into the Kansas City Chiefs face mask.
Wow.
So I agree with the call. It was a good call. You can't put your face. You can't do that. Okay, here we go. Patrick Mahomes. He's on his own 12. It looks like 1st and 10. He's in the shotgun. Very similar formation as the Philadelphia. Oh, he's throwing first. Cross pattern, and it looks like they got the first down, 10 yards. So Mahomes goes to the air first, whereas the Eagles ran.
There you go.
Is that a telling sign, Brian?
It's coming out of the box, slinging it.
So, Brian, were you able to see it? You got it on?
I'm working to get it. I'm working.
Okay, no problem, then.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm just a beginner when it comes to play-by-play. Mahomes is in the shotgun. He fakes. He throws again to the receiver left. And a gain of, it looks like 1 or 2 yards. He threw a quick pass to the receiver on the left side.
Yeah, he's coming out in shotgun.
Yeah, they're all going shot. Every play on both sides of the ball are shotgun. He's shotgun again.
Wow.
It's 2nd and 9, Brian. And slot right, motion left. And Kelsey, this will be interesting to see if he targets Kelsey. Mahomes back to pass. Oh, Kelsey dropped the ball. He threw it to Kelsey, and he dropped the ball. I'd like to see him focus in on Taylor Swift's box right now.
They will.
So it's 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9. I got to believe he's going to throw. They're going back in the shotgun. Two receivers left. Motion. Now Mahomes looks like he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
He's checking the play.
Yeah, I think he's checking off. Back to pass. Steps up. Oh, he's running. He's scrambling. Oh, my gosh. Look at him scramble. He's going to get rid of it. Oh, you know what? He should not have thrown that ball. It looks like it might have been intercepted. Did he intercept the pass? Mahomes, I don't know if he intercepted it here. I don't think he did. He scrambled, and then he should have thrown the ball out of bounds. But it was he throws the ball. Let's see. Replay. Nope, it wasn't. It was almost intercepted. So the Chiefs are going to punt. Now, Brian.
What?
Does this mean that this could be a low-scoring game?
Wait, no, with them slinging, with them coming out in shotgun, they're going to get the ball down the field, bro.
I don't know, Brian. They stopped.
Surprised
2 stops. Okay, punt. All right. Okay, had the Eagle punt returner had about a 5-yard return. And by the way, got to make this. I've got to make this observation. When the teams came out, and Brian, I know when you and I were together at Stanford, when we came out, you were out in front and I was out in front. Well, in this game, it was Patrick Mahomes leading the Chiefs out, and on the Eagles, it was their offensive linemen.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Yep. The Thunder.
So that's a telltale sign there.
That's the Thunder. They're coming with the Thunder first.
And, I'll tell you, if the offensive line for the Eagles can control the line and get the push that they need, and Barkley can have a great game, the Eagles can win. There's no doubt about it. I'm just concerned if the game's real close, Brian, those boys in stripes, I just don't want to see them have to determine a game.
Bro.
It's the only thing I'm worried about.
Again, you will see a game unlike any other Super Bowl that has ever been seen before. I promise you.
Yep.
It has never, ever been seen before.
Well, as we know, defense wins championships. And whether it's baseball,
defense
soccer,
wins championships. No, it doesn't.
Well, you got to have a great offensive line, and then then if you can hold the team to very few points, you're in every game, Brian.
Offense wins championships, bro.
Well,
you get the ball down the field no matter what.
Brian, in baseball, what wins World Series baseball? What's wins? Come on, Brian.
Bob Gibson.
Exactly. Mariano Rivera, Whitey Ford. Pitching. So in baseball, it's pitching. In football, it's actually defense. But and you've got in this game, you've got Vic Fangio, who's an outstanding defensive coordinator for the Eagles, and then on the Chiefs, you've got Spagnuolo.
Bro, all I'm saying is offense.
By the way, I don't know if you saw it, but they were doing some AI pre-game AI with Jimmy Johnson. They had Jimmy Johnson when he was back at Arkansas playing football with Jerry Jones. And then it was very interesting. I've got a little side story about Jimmy Johnson when we get a break here. So I met Jimmy Johnson back in 1982. We sat together. We were in Tokyo, Jimmy Johnson and myself in Tokyo in 1982 when he was coaching at Oklahoma State. Okay, here we go. Jalen Hurts, first time quarterback under center. He's under center, and he's handing off to Barkley. And you know what? They're shutting him down. Barkley.
They are not shutting him down.
I don't know if it's 8 in the box, but he didn't get it. He got maybe a half a yard and a yard. So it's second and
they're setting him up.
What is it? 2nd and 8. Oh, you got 2 yards. You know, it's very interesting. From my perspective, it looked like he got one yard and they give him 2 yards. Very interesting. Okay, now he's back in the shotgun. Barkley. Now he goes back to pass, dropping back. He's looking around. And he hits his tight end. I believe that's his tight end. Gobert? Is that his name? You know what? If I knew I had to do play-by-play, I would have had my sheet out.
Bro, I got the game on now.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm off the hook. Okay, he's back in the shotgun. Oh, he gives it to Barkley. Brian, Barkley's carried the ball 5 or 6 times for a total of 4 yards. 4 or 5 yards.
Bro, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He busts out in a second.
Well, that's true. Okay, 2nd and 7. Ball's on the 45-yard line of Kansas City. Hands it off to Barkley again. Very few yards. What, a couple yards? 1 or 2 yards? Well, you gotta give your credit to Kansas City. They've really they're playing good defense here, Brian. Okay, so it's 3rd and 5. And they're in the shotgun. Hurst is back. Incomplete. Okay.
Was that incomplete to 88?
They threw a flag. There's a flag thrown.
Okay, I'm a play ahead of you. I mean, you're behind me.
Okay, well then you take over. What's happening here?
Well, I mean, the ball was poorly thrown. I'll tell you that much.
You know what? If that's a penalty, you know what? That's not a penalty. They're saying that he hit him in the head. That's not a penalty.
Wow.
What do you think, Brian?
Well, Barkley's got he got some wrong cleats on for this game. I'll tell you that much. I saw him slip there when he was trying to make a cut. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, he's got those. I saw this. He's got some special colored Michael Jordan shoes that he's actually the NFL is going to fine him for the shoes that he's wearing.
Well, there's no reason why he should have sat there and. Well, there you go. Look at that one. Look at that one.
So yeah, you're ahead of me, Brian. So
yeah, well, they just scored.
There you go. Well, Brian, then you take over play-by-play, Brian. What? Look at that. Okay, it was 2nd and 11.
Well, a great blitz pickup, I'll tell you that much. And it looked like he got into the end zone and scored. No, his knee hit ground at the 1-yard line.
Okay. So it'd be interesting, Brian, if you look at statistics, I'll have to look this up. The team that scores first in the Super Bowl, how many times have they won when the team?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Let me look that up while you give the play-by-play.
Well,
so Brian, take over. I'm going to do a little research here.
Well, no, I'm on commercial break here.
Okay. Well, I was trying to. Here we go. So, how many times has the team that scored first in the Super Bowl won the game? And by the way, just to let everyone know, you really have to check your statistics or your facts, trivia, because when you look these things up, they're not always accurate. And I'll give you an example in just a few minutes here. But here's what it says. Okay. Historically, scoring first in the Super Bowl has provided a notable advantage. As for Super Bowl, and this is I don't know which one. The team that scored first has won 38 out of 57 times, translating to winning percentage of approximately 67%. So that's not too significant.
No, it's not.
No. But I did look up, and this is interesting. I asked ChatGPT, I said, what great player has been on 3 consecutive championship teams, whether it's the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, the NHL, and I even threw in Premier League of Soccer. And it came up with names that I had to double check. I mean, it said Ken Norton Jr., which, by the way, he was on 3 consecutive Super Bowl teams, but it was the Cowboys in 93, the Cowboys in 94, and then he got traded to the 49ers in 95.
Yeah.
So Ken Norton, but Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did not do a three-peat. I do not believe they did it. Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, I don't believe did it. Wayne Gretzky didn't do it. Yogi Berra with the Yankees didn't do it.
Oh, they got the tush push going here, bro.
Okay, there we go. Let me get back to live.
Yep, there you go. Touchdown.
Did they get it?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
you can't stop that.
Getting back to the trivia here, the only player other than Ken Norton Jr. who did it with 2 different teams, do you know that player? And he played for the New York Yankees, and he was on 3 consecutive World Series championship teams. Derek Jeter. So that's the only player of, and so if Patrick Mahomes wins today, which obviously they're losing now, but if he wins, he'll join Derek Jeter and Ken Norton Jr. as the only athletes to three-peat in a major sport.
bro. It's 6-0, 7-0. Okay, 6 minutes down. Okay, so there's been 9 minutes that have been burned up, and Kansas City isn't on the clock, on the scoreboard.
There's that tush push. Lilia. It's the tush push, Lilia. By the way, what does Lilia Osterloh, Brian Holloway have in common?
Stanford Hall of Fame.
Stanford Hall of Fame.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep, and that's where I met Lilia when she got inducted to the Stanford Hall of Fame.
Was that 2 years after us?
No, no, were we in 96?
I don't know.
I think we're in 96. No, Lilia was, I think, well, let's see. Lilia, can you type in, Lilia? Because you can type in the comments up there. If anyone wants to type in and tell me when Lilia was inducted in the Stanford Hall of Fame, that's when I met Lilia.
Look at that field. Boy, they got that thing colored all up, don't they? You know what's wild is that's the same stadium where we played our Super Bowl.
Yep. And Brian, remember 1979 when we played Tulane in the Superdome?
Whoa, did we?
We played Tulane in the Superdome 1979.
Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't know if it was the Superdome.
Yep. In the field, it was AstroTurf, but it was like playing on concrete.
Yeah.
Whereas this turf that they have now, Brian, is the turf that they play on? Is it close to being like grass?
I don't know what the turf is like now. Not there at the. I don't know.
Well, I've got a good friend who, and I'm going to get his book here. Tex Simone. It's a great book on. Let me get that. Let's see, where is it? The book. Textbook. Let me see.
I'll tell you one thing. He had a good 8 seconds of pass protection. That's an awful lot.
Well, John Simone, I've got his book about his father. John Simone could tell us about the field, because that's what he puts in artificial turf all around the country. Oh, Mahomes. So, Brian, do you think the Chiefs are going to go down and score and match? What do you think?
On this drive?
Yep.
Well, they were going for the deep ball on that play before, so they're going to go for it again. I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
Oh boy, missed that one.
What happened, Brian? Because you're ahead of me.
Well, he had to get out of the huddle and get out of the pocket, and he was rushed a little bit. But he slung a little pass, which he doesn't miss those. And this one he's a little bit off today so far. I'm surprised he's missed his receivers on at least 3 or 4 times. That's unusual.
Yeah.
That's very unusual.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, he's pissed off, too. Yeah, they're breaking for commercial right now.
Okay. We'll see if it's a Doge commercial. So
no, it's a Dorito commercial. Hold on.
Okay. So for everybody, I just learned this, and I don't know why, but I just learned that Patrick Mahomes' father was a Major League Baseball player. And many of you may already know that, but his dad pitched for the New York Mets. And you can actually see how he throws the ball. He knows you could see he threw a baseball before he threw a football. Patrick Mahomes when he's a little kid, because he can throw. He can, like a shortstop, can throw from all different angles, and I'm sure that inspired him. But he decided to go football. Brian, you and Patrick Mahomes, you were a pitcher, right, Brian?
Oh yeah,
Little League.
Yep, left-handed throwing a screwball.
And Brian, we were talking about the size of the players today. This Philadelphia Eagles offensive line averages, what's their average size again?
I think they're 3 1/4, 6'5".
6'5", 3 1/4. And I remember the team that you can see right behind here. I'll get a little wide screen. This is our Super Bowl team right here. And the biggest guy we had on our team was Bruce Davis. I'm pointing right up there. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
And Bruce was just tipping around 300 pounds. He was about 6'6", 300 pounds, Bruce Davis. 6'6". He was the biggest guy. We only had one guy that was just barely over 300 pounds.
There's no way he was just 300 pounds.
Well, I'm just saying he was right. Bruce Davis, there was no one else over.
I call 3 1/4, 350.
Well, I'm just saying that was my memory. But today, virtually every offensive lineman's over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And what is that? Is that hard on the body? Because Brian, I'll never forget when I came to Stanford, I met Gordon King, who was huge, and then I met you. And Gordon King went on to play for the New York Giants, first-round pick. You were a first-round pick. And you at Stanford, 6'7", and I believe you're 280 pounds at Stanford?
Yeah, played at 285, yeah.
And the thing that was you could do, very few left tackles could do this. You could run. You would run down the field, and I'll never forget the story you tell about how when you were with the Raiders, how you ran down the field and blocked for Bo Jackson.
Sure. Well, I mean, it was very simple. It was just a simple mathematical formula, man. A play lasts 7 seconds long, and I can dispatch of my guy in 2 seconds, which means I had 5 seconds left. And I says, well, what am I doing? What am I just hanging out at a coffee shop? I had to sit down. Let me go down and disrupt the defense. And so I tested where are the parts of the field that I want to go that disrupt the defense the most. And I knew that if I went down the field 50 times during the game, 25 times it wouldn't matter. But 10 times it really mattered. So there were some great lessons there to help improve the offense that the defense couldn't account for.
Brian, look who just sent a message. Well, I got 2nd and 10. It says, Lilia, we need more tush push to win. Hi, Lilia. Mwah. We love you. So, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, hopefully he ate well at training table.
So there's a very serious neck injury on one of the defensive linemen that they were working on the sideline. That's a no joke.
Are you talking about the Eagle team? The Eagles?
The Kansas City lineman.
Oh, the Kansas City offensive lineman?
Defensive lineman.
Defensive lineman.
They were working on his neck on the sideline. That's not good. because you can go and sprain the neck. Like I would go and let's put it this way. By time that I hit my guy enough that he caused the neck sprain, he was done.
Now, how would you go about? Was there a certain technique that you could do to sprain someone's neck, Brian?
You don't try to sprain the neck. I mean, you just hit him hard, and what happens, as opposed to him hitting you straight head on, if he turns his head and he hits it to the side, that's when you get some injuries. You get some.
Well, Brian, let me ask you. You met Deacon Jones, and for any of you that may not know the name Deacon Jones, but he was a great defensive end for the Rams, and they banned the head slap. Oh, there we go.
The average weight is 338.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're big boys.
Now, when you were with the Patriots, Brian, you got up to what, 320?
Again, if I'm playing in the winter in Chicago or Green Bay, I'm going to be 3.25.
Okay.
If I'm going to come down and be in Tampa, or I'm going to go down Miami, or if I'm going to be in Colorado, you got to be able to breathe that thin air. So you got to drop to 75. No, 80, got 85. Yeah.
285?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you look at the Denver Bronco, it'd be interesting to look at the Denver Bronco offense.
Denver Broncos defensive, all the linemen aren't big because you can't breathe. Oh boy.
So what's the down and distance right now, Brian?
Holy smokes. They came in and sacked him on a blitz on that one.
Okay. So with third down, they just sacked him.
Offsides. Wow.
So what's the down and distance, Brian? Because you're ahead of me. Is that a first down?
Oh boy. That's not good. They didn't get anything on that play. Wow. So you're seeing there's both teams are still working to get their rhythm. They really are.
Well, it's the end of the first quarter.
I know. I mean, Kansas City is still feeling their way. And and I'm not seeing the rhythm that I usually see them with. But again, it doesn't matter because Mahomes has the ability to score so fast that he could literally have a sloppy 75 plays in a game and come back with 20 great plays and he'll win the game.
Well, he's got something, Brian, that our former teammate at Stanford who went on to an illustrious NFL career, 5 Super Bowl appearances, two victories toward the end of his career. The last 2 years of his career, he won Super Bowls, and he loved when the game was close. He just thrived on it, just like Michael Jordan. I'm sure Wayne Gretzky, he thrived on it. John Elway. And I believe Patrick Mahomes is the same. He loves that feeling.
Well, he's gonna have it. He's got it now.
Well, no, it's just the first quarter. But now this is interesting. We're gonna have to look this up. how many teams leading at the first quarter have won the Super Bowl? Let's find that one out. How many teams that were leading after the first quarter won the Super Bowl? Let's see what it has to say. Now, granted, don't always believe everything you hear or when you look it up, but this is what it's going to say. Okay. Okay, response one or give me. It's interesting. ChatGPT asks response one or response two. I'll just say give me one. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, I understand your interest in the correlation between early leads and the Super Bowl outcomes. While specific data on teams leading after the first quarter in Super Bowl is limited, general NFL statistics suggest that teams holding a lead at the end of the first quarter have a favorable chance of winning. For instance, during the 2017 regular season, teams leading by at least 3 points after the first quarter won approximately 75% of their games.
Wow.
So you got to believe that this might be a good sign for the Eagles. But again, we're looking at the box. Oh, no. But this could be a good sign for the Eagles.
Again, not really, because Mahomes can score so fast.
Right. Let's see.
Wow. Interception.
Oh, baby.
Interception.
Well, that's another thing. Turnovers. How many, if you, this is a question. If you lead in turnovers in the Super Bowl, what are the chances of your team winning?
If you're turning the ball over?
Yeah. The team that turns the ball over
I would say that it's not good at all. You turn over the ball, that's the problem.
Okay. Okay, let's just see what it has to say about turnovers. Okay, in Super Bowl history, turnover differential has been a critical factor in determining the outcome of the game. Teams that win the turnover battle boast a 30-3 record. So this is whoever has the fewest turnovers. That's a big impact. On average, Super Bowl winners who have committed 1.2 turnovers per game, while the losers have committed 3.2 turnovers per game.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the first turnover, correct? Is that the first turnover?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. That's something you don't see Patrick Mahomes turn the ball over too much, do you?
Well, I don't watch a lot of Kansas City football, and I do know that he has a very, what would I say? He doesn't take a lot of risk. It's very strategic and tactical, and I see it as I don't want to say boring, but very conservative. Conservative excellence, if that makes sense.
Well, here's what it says. Patrick Mahomes has demonstrated exceptional ball security throughout his NFL career. As the end of the 2024 season, he's thrown 75 interceptions over 112 regular season games, averaging just 0.66 interceptions per game. In terms of interception percentage, the ratio of interceptions to pass attempts, Mahomes has maintained a career average of about 1.8%. That means for every 100 passes he throws, fewer than 2 result in interceptions, underscoring his precision and careful decision-making on the field.
Yeah, see?
Yep. So we're back. Okay.
Oh, he's checking off. He's from the end zone. Wow, he dumped it to the spill running back.
Is that a first down, Brian?
No.
What's the down? It's third down?
They're punting, brother.
They're punting. Oh, my gosh.
No, they aren't. No, they aren't. No, they aren't.
Wow, what a tremendous interception that the Kansas City made last series.
On the 9-yard line coming out. Oh, they just checked off. Oh, boy. Whoa, that's terrible.
Now, Brian, you're ahead of me, so you got to play by play. People are listening to you. They're probably.
He was throwing a strike to Kelsey, but it was. He put it a foot off the ground, and it should have been like 2 feet off the ground. So it was a bad throw, which is very unusual. I mean, that ball you do need to throw low, but that ball was thrown too low for Kelsey to scoop it up. That was a surprise.
Yeah, he threw that low. Yep. Yeah, you mentioned it looks like Mahomes is a little bit off, but he hasn't been intercepted yet, so that's a good sign.
And boy, you haven't heard anything out of Kelsey, and this is it's surprising.
Well, that ball that he threw to Kelsey was uncatchable. There's no way he's going to catch that ball.
Right.
I'm really surprised that they haven't shown many shots from press boxes. Like who's there? That's one of the things I love about tennis. One of the things I love about tennis is they always show who's at the tennis match, who the coaches are. But that, oh, we got another commercial. All right. So Brian,
there's the reason why you don't see many cameras going to the press box or to the other boxes, right?
Because Brian, look at the temperature down in Naples. Thank you, Lilia.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was a nice day today. It was beautiful.
And Mark Fenton. Hi, Mark. How are you? Oh, here's Mark Fenton. What does he say here? Mark says, regular season stats might not matter with the best teams playing. Good point.
Yeah, because it is different. The Super Bowl is different. But I'm not, I'm a little surprised at Kansas City. I am surprised.
Well, Brian, as you've told me for many years, it's sports entertainment, and maybe they just stay. I truly believe that John Elway didn't like blowouts. I just felt that John Elway loved to play when the last minute. I mean, he just loved it. Jim Harbaugh liked that. They called Jim Harbaugh Captain Comeback.
Is that right?
Joe Montana loved it. I mean, that catch, Dwight Clark to go to the Super Bowl. Montana was amazing. The last drive, remember when Montana drove down and threw that ball to John Taylor to beat the Chargers?
Yes, of course.
So I was looking up. There was a lot of history, Brian, that I was looking up because this is the 59th Super Bowl. But people have to understand that there were championships and you just didn't call it the Super Bowl. I mean, the Cleveland Browns had one of the greatest football players ever, Jim Brown. And our coach at Stanford, he was the All-Pro defensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns, Paul Wiggin, and they won the World Championship in 1964. It just wasn't called the Super Bowl.
Yeah. The league has sure changed a bit. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. So, Brian, you got to give us play-by-play. What's going on?
Oh, well, I was scrambling out of the pass. There wasn't anything there. There was tight coverage. And they've got one of the tackles for the Eagles has got some injury. It looks like his knee or his hip that he's trying to work out some kinks on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
So now they got 4 wide and 11 minutes left on the clock. Oh, there was a beautifully timed pass. Let's see if he was in bounds. One of those times you just throw it up there and you throw it to a spot on the field. Oh yeah, that's a catch. That's a catch. He went out of bounds. No. No. I don't get it. I don't get why, they go and try to run the ball without moving bodies. When I played, I wanted the running back to break the line of scrimmage. We wanted to move the line of scrimmage 5 yards before the running back ran through. And I just don't see that. And I don't see them spreading out the defense and then striking.
Yeah, they've really held Barkley. He's not done much today so far.
Absolutely not. I mean, what a shocker.
Yeah, we would have thought that. But Spagnuolo, you got to give it Spagnuolo. I think has won more Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator than anyone in history. He's got 4 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator.
Wow. A broken play. A broken play, and all of a sudden Hurts gets, they don't make it. They don't make it.
So 3rd and 5, they didn't make it, huh? Are they going to kick the field goal, Brian?
No, they're going for it.
They're going for it.
Wow. A lot of people moving up there. A lot of people moving up front. Look at that
Brian,
offense. Oh,
what just happened, Brian? What just happened?
they went unbalanced, and they were looking at Kansas City's adjustment to them lining up unbalanced, and they started checking off, which means calling a different play setup, and then they ran out of clock. They ran the clock out of time.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're punting it. No. Hold on here. They're going for a field goal.
Yeah, field goal.
Yeah. Boy, this would be a time to fake it too.
Oh, yeah.
I'd fake it right here. I swear I would.
Yeah, usually you see a fake punt.
Oh, there it is. Split. Absolutely.
What happened, Brian?
He made it.
Field goal?
He split. Yep.
Okay, so it's 10 to nothing.
Oh, unless they call an offsides. Oh.
There's a flag? Oh my gosh. Let me see.
They call offsides on
Kansas City, right?
I think the Eagles, yeah. The
Offside
Eagles.
on the Eagles. Okay.
Yeah, because Kansas City came across, but they can go and get back. But one of the Eagles sat there.
Oh, one of the Eagles moved. Yep.
Woo! He made the kick, though. Holy mercy, mercy, mercy.
Still made the kick, so it's 10-0, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, I'm going to find out. Let's just see if how many Super Bowls had a 10-0 score in the second quarter with how much time left? 8 minutes left. Eight with 8 minutes to go. Let's see. 8 minutes left. All right. In the game. Here we go. We're going to see what it has to say. In Super Bowl, 22, 1988. So this was two Super Bowls after your Super Bowl, Brian. The Denver Broncos led the Washington Redskins. That was John Elway. Right. He led the Washington Redskins 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. The Redskins, and remember their great Doug Williams. They went on to score 35 unanswered points in the second quarter. They scored 35 points in the second quarter with Doug Williams. I'll never forget. He had a sprained ankle. He sprained his ankle, and they scored 35 points, setting a Super Bowl record for the most points in a single quarter. And they ultimately won the game 42-10. The Broncos didn't score any.
I was there. That was the game where DiMaggio walked right in and sat right down the seats for me.
Share with what was it like to converse with Joe DiMaggio?
Joe. I didn't have tickets to the game, but I went to the production bus the day before, and Bradshaw was there, Theismann was there, and the production guys saw me there in the truck, and he says, "Listen, here's your credentials for tomorrow, and assume." They says, "Well, even if you're not on the team, just in case we need you for production, are you going to be available?" And I said, "Sure." And so I got my credentials, all access credentials, and I was looking for, well, where can I sit? And he said, "Well, you sit anywhere you want." And the vacancy I looked for obviously was the 50-yard line, because those would be the people who would likely not make it to the game, the highest demand seats. So I sat down. There were 4 empty seats there, and then after the first quarter, I saw someone coming up, and it was Joe DiMaggio, and it was like very, very cool. He had security with him, and then he sat down to watch the game, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And we nodded at each other, and it was sort of like we knew each other was, quote, somebody. And I sat down, and it was something else. It was a big, fantastic moment for me as an athlete and competitor and a sports fan.
Well, I would have asked him, I don't know if I could have asked him this question, but he was in love with Marilyn Monroe till the day she died. I read where he every day, well, actually after she died, he would place a rose or something at her memorial. There would be a rose from Joe DiMaggio at her every day. Or it was he really was sad when Marilyn passed away.
The Kansas City offensive line is having a bad day, bro. Holy smokes.
Yep.
Holy smokes. They're not playing. They're missing something, man. They ain't playing with the spark and the fury that I've seen them play with before.
Well, this is the thing, Brian. They've won, two in a row. How difficult is it to get up to go for a three-peat?
Well, like I said, they're playing more games than any other team, right? And they're sore and they're tired. And
but they had 2 weeks to rest, Brian. 2 weeks.
Bro, I'm telling you, you get burnt out from going with a season that long. What an interception. This is a touchdown. Yep. There it is. Holy smokes on that one.
What just happened, Brian?
Cooper, one of the quarterbacks went there and picked the ball, man. And they ran it back like 30, 40 yards for a touch. If they call a flag on this, I'll be like, come on, you guys. Really?
So it was 3rd and 16, and Mahomes drops back. He scrambles. He throws the pick, and he runs it back. Where was the flag? Was there a flag thrown?
No, but, I was like waiting for the flag to come,
Nope. Well, there you go. 17. It's going to be 17-0. Well, I am going to let the audience know that there's no way this is going to, in my opinion, this is not going to get, this will not get out of line. That's just my opinion. I would love to see the Eagles crush them, because I'd love to see Saquon get his Super Bowl ring, because as a fellow running back, he's tremendous.
Yeah.
And I know how hard that position is.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, maybe, who knows, maybe because of the Doge commercials, people, even if the game gets out of line, people will stay tuned in because they want to watch the commercials and the halftime show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not just the football game, right, Brian?
No, it's not.
What is greatness? Yeah, that's true. Well, I want to give a shout out to my good friend in California, my teammate, high school teammate, Mark Churchward. And we were just talking about Mark he was a former fire chief in Southern California for the fire department. He was a captain. And he was talking about changes in California and he said he might want to put together a firefighters coalition to bring about change in California. Isn't that exciting?
Well, they have that. They have an organization already. The firefighters and the police officers, and they call it. I think it's called Guns and Hoses, and that's the association.
Oh, Lilia, no flag TD. You're right, Lilia.
Yeah.
Hey, Lilia, you have to understand, Brian. Lilia was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh boy.
And where she learned to play tennis, guess what was right next to the tennis courts where she worked out?
Ohio State.
The Horseshoe, where we played.
The Horseshoe.
Oh no, you were playing, you had already gone to professional. We played in the Horseshoe, Ohio State. That's where Lilia, right next to the stadium, she honed her tennis skills.
I know where Columbus is. That's where my parents met.
Wow. Lilia, thank you. Thank you, Lilia. We love you. There we go. All right, so let's see. We got another comment here. Who is this? It says, hey there, I really enjoy your streams. They're awesome. I'd love to connect and share some exciting ideas to help take your channel to the next level. Oh, okay. Thank you. Appify 0010. Thank you. Always looking for help. And where, by the way, Appify, where are you located? What part of the world are you located, Appify? Let's see if Appify shows. And look at this. Devil Crown Records. What's up? How are you? Now, I don't know. Who is Devil Crown Records? Tell us who you are.
Mercy. Oh, my mercy.
Oh, Lewis. What happened? By the way, before we'll get you 1 second, Lewis. What just happened, Brian?
They're just the defensive front is just outplaying with an intensity that's not being matched by Kansas City Chiefs offensive line.
Well, I told you, Vic Fangio, one of the great defensive coordinators in professional football, Vic Fangio for the Eagles. So, thank you, Lewis. One of my high school students, Brian, says, How you doing? He says, how you doing, Coach? It's Lewis.
Cool.
Hey, Lewis, I want to introduce you to my former teammate, my good friend, Brian Holloway. Brian, Lewis is one of our top students, and actually, he has started his own little business, and he's only a freshman in high school.
Very cool.
Thank you, Lewis. We'll see you tomorrow, brother. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, my gosh. They run trips left, and Mahomes can't get the ball off.
Wow.
He's not seeing the field. He's not seeing the field.
Well, I'll tell you, when he was warming up, I was looking for him to smile, and he had this real stern look on his face, and I don't know why, but
yeah, I haven't seen him like this ever before. Like rattled. But again, he can score 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes anytime he wants.
Well, we're going to remind our folks. We're going to remind. Oh, by the way, look what Lewis said. Nice to meet you, Coach. Nice to meet you, Brian Holloway.
Okay, very cool.
So, I'm going to look up. There was the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history You know that who the biggest turnaround?
Well, it's got to be the Patriots in when they were in Atlanta.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was the game, and I'm just going to go back to it because I'm looking.
Guess who was there?
You were there.
I was there all week long, and then we said, okay, what we'll do, because we had really had enough of all the activities. We were exhausted, and we said, well, let's just listen. Let's drive back, but listen to the Super Bowl on the way back. So literally, we're driving back. We're listening to the Super Bowl. And we're so lit, we get here with 3 minutes left in the game, and we rush in and turn the TV on as quick as we can. And to see the Patriots win. That was crazy.
Yep. Well, they call it the Tom Brady's historic comeback. 2017 Super Bowl 51, the Patriots led by Tom Brady overcame a 25-point deficit to defeat the Falcons 34-28 in the first overtime game in Super Bowl history. That was 2017, 8 years ago. This game is often cited as one of the greatest comebacks in sports history.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Thank you. Lewis is streaming on YouTube right now. Thank you, Lewis. By the way, if anyone has questions for Brian or myself or whatever as you're watching the game, please don't hesitate. You can type in your questions wherever you are. I'd still like to know where Apify is located. I'm going to bring them back up. There's Apify. 0010. So let us know where you are, what part of the world. I'm here in upstate New York. Brian is down in the beautiful sunshine state of Florida, along with Lilia. And the temperature, Lilia gave us the temperature down in Naples. It's a nice 73 degrees in Naples. And right now, here in upstate New York, I'll give you the temperature. Let's see. It's 27 degrees here. And there's a winter weather advisory. So this is called the snow belt.
Barkley gets another, looks like 15 yards. No, 9 yards.
Well, let's see. Yeah, the Chiefs have only got 14. What is it? 14 yards? It's 17-0. That was Barkley's biggest run all game, correct?
Yeah.
So I think what they'll do is I think they're going to start pounding Barkley because that's you chew up time with that.
Yeah, he's gonna. You watch.
Well, I'm going to say if the boys, I call them boys, and at the end of this, I'll say men, but if the boys in stripes don't decide this game, I will be very happy, and many people will be happy. But I'll tell you, it's crazy because being on upstate New York, the Buffalo Bills, I'll tell you, that was tough to take. But Josh Allen, he won the MVP this year. Brian, Josh Allen, the MVP.
Yeah, I saw. He deserved it, man. What a great year he had, and so
he really did.
And he showed a style of playing quarterback we haven't seen in a long time.
Well, I don't know if people know this. When he came out of high school, no one recruited him, and he grew up just outside of Fresno, California, and his dream was to go to Fresno State. And in high school, he wrote a letter to the head coach at Fresno State saying, "Please, I want to play for you guys." And they didn't recruit him, so he went to junior college.
Yeah.
And he played well enough to get recruited by just 2 teams. He still wrote that after junior college. He said, "I want to come play for Fresno State." They said, "No, we're not interested." And the University of Wyoming said, "Hey, come on up to Laramie." And he had a great 4 years there as a Cowboy, Wyoming. And the Bills drafted him in the first round, and the rest is history. So it just goes to show you, if you really love the game and you want to do it, you can do it. So any of you, whatever you're doing, for example, Lewis, who's listening, he has some big dreams. And Lewis, you can do it. You can do it, whatever your dreams are, if you have a passion, right, Brian?
Absolutely.
Brian knows that more than anyone. That's actually, Brian, you've spoken in front of thousands of people across the world.
Well, I mean, given my journey, I will tell you that there was very little indicators that it was possible. And I think I failed more than anyone ever has failed. I just never gave up. Wow. I'm telling you, Kansas City Chief is starting to bring that shutdown corner. They better bring a little more stank than that.
Yeah, so the Chiefs call a timeout there with 2:08 to go, trying to work the clock, trying to get the football back. So look, the Eagles have played obviously very, very well. They have 6 touchdowns.
Well, it's been a good game. I haven't even got a chance to take a break to go get my drink.
Well, Brian, you can go ahead. It's just if you want to take a break.
No, this is exciting. I've got, you know.
How can we buy enough time for Patrick to make some throws down the field?
Well, is it going to be the 2-minute warning coming? Is it already the 2-minute warning, Brian?
Yeah.
Of the Eagles, because they're just on the quarterback so quickly. So a lot of decisions to be made here at halftime.
So Brian, could you have imagined that the Eagles would be up 17-0 at this stage of the game?
No.
But I'll tell you, when it comes to drama, I think Patrick Mahomes, we'll see, but I think he's licking his chops saying, "Okay, we're gonna go into halftime. We'll see if they can come out. We'll see."
Wow. The left guard's having a tough time.
The Eagles, left guard?
Yeah.
Is he number 77, Brian?
I don't know what his number is.
I think it's 77.
Hey, we got a commercial. Whoa. Got to be careful getting up here too quick.
Okay, well, Brian's breaking for a commercial. And I'll go into the solo mode here. So, well, I'll tell you, this is it's exciting, and I think this is great entertainment because the Chiefs, who I thought were going to three-peat, are down 17-0 with 2 minutes to go. And but I tell you, Patrick Mahomes, he everything I've seen about watching him play, don't turn off your sets because he loves this moment. There's certain athletes, as I said, Michael Jordan, John Elway, Jim Harbaugh, Captain Comeback. They love when the going gets tough, they get going, and so Don't turn your sets off. And then also I haven't seen the Doge commercial. If anyone's seen, go ahead and maybe take a note. Oh, you need snacks. Oh, Lilia. Lilia says we need sacks in reaching distance. Well, Lilia, if I were there with you in Naples, I know we would have lots of snacks. By the way, Lilia, what's happening? You know, we watched the Australian Open. Talk about tennis, because tennis, I love the great sport of tennis. I mean, it's truly a global game. Who do you like? Who's the next big tournament? You've got the Australian Open, the French Open, the U.S. Open, and Wimbledon. What's up next? Let's see if she's going to respond. And the reason, by the way, Lilia played 13 years as a professional, traveled all over the world, and she's now teaching. She's a professional teacher down in Florida. So if you love tennis, let me know. I can hook you up with Lilia. She can, I don't know if she does virtual. Oh, Brian's back. Oh, Indian Wells. Oh, this week. Let me put it up. Oh, Indian Wells. Yes, I've had friends that have gone there. Actually, John Elway, I think, lives down in that neck of the woods. Also, our former head coach there, Coach Tom Flores, lives nearby there. So, and Delray Beach. Well, Delray Beach is this week. That's Florida. And the Miami Open. Yes. The Miami Open. When is that? When's the Miami Open, Lilia? Okay. Oh, Brian's back. Let me bring him back on. Okay, Brian, you're back on, brother. Wow. Lilia and I were just talking tennis.
No, I was right here. I was listening.
Brian, do you play tennis?
I play tennis terribly, as quoted by Ethel Kennedy, who asked me to come play with her, and she said I was absolutely the worst tennis player she'd ever seen in my life. She said, I thought you were an athlete. And I was like, I said, you just get me started with it. I'll know how to swing it. I'll hit it. And so she lost her patience. And she had some good laughs. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah, Ethel Kennedy. Yeah, I never met Ethel. I met her sister-in-law, Joan Kennedy. I had dinner with Joan Kennedy many years ago.
She played the piano for me.
Ethel or Joan?
Joan. Yeah, she was quite a pianist. And up at the compound. And I shared I had a big love of music and wanted to learn to play and the piano. And she said, well, you come here, I'll teach you. And of course, with our life speed, there just isn't that kind of time.
Yeah. Well, Brian, what's going on here? They punted, right? The Eagles punted.
Yeah.
So this is where
Kansas City's coming out of the end zone. They're on the 6-yard line.
Well, this is where Patrick Mahomes. This is going to be a telling sign here because
no way.
What happened?
The ball was intercepted. Oh,
you got to be kidding me. Come on.
Bro.
Oh, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is stunned. Let's see.
Watch. Yeah.
Well, yep. That was, you know what? That I very rarely see Patrick Mahomes make a pass like that.
Well, he was bumped too at the end. He was bumped. His leg was hit at the end of his throw.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wow. Well, they might. Maybe they're going for that record, the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. We'll see.
What a stupid play to call.
Well, if the Eagles do win this Super Bowl, it might silence some of those naysayers who say that football's being choreographed. So it's probably good for the game. It's good for the game if the Eagles win. But I'll tell you, they need to take the referees out of the game. You know, there's a saying, let them play. And I think artificial intelligence, Brian, don't you see artificial intelligence in the coming years helping with making these calls, some of these terrible calls that I've seen?
You know what? I had never even thought of that, because it absolutely could. And they would be absolutely accurate every time.
Well, 2 weeks ago when the Bills were playing the Chiefs, Josh Allen.
Oh, my gosh.
What happened? What happened?
It was an easy pass to the end zone.
He dropped it?
No, touchdown.
Brian, you're ahead of me. I'm going to see it in just a few seconds here. So this will be 24. Okay. Yep. Touchdown.
Wow.
Well, you know what? As they say, it's not over till it's over. I think that was Yogi Berra. I think Yogi Berra said that. It's not over till it's over.
Wow. I'm going to have time during halftime to go make my hot dog.
Are you having hot dogs for halftime?
Well, that's the only speed cooking thing I have. I can speed cook.
Well, I'm going to have this wonderful, it's called Truly Essential. Let's see if we can see it here.
Maybe I'll put a pizza in or something.
No, you know, Brian, have you, because I left some of this Truly Essential. Do you drink my Truly Essential water? I left you cases of it.
It's disappearing.
I know. I don't know how to do that. Let me see. Oh, there it is.
Oh. Yeah,
Brian,
we drank that.
It's fantastic. If anyone would like to know about Truly Essential, I'm going to put my little stream down there. You can order it. It is what the water was like 200 years ago, when you could just go in the stream and you could drink the water from the stream, and the rocks in the water had the minerals. And this company called Truly Essential, let me put it up here, a banner so you can see it.
Bro, I'm going to quickly make my hot dog.
Okay, Brian, you go make your hot dog. I'm here.
I'll be right back.
I'm here. Brian's going to make his hot dog. I am here. And this little ticker down there, Linktree/Michael Dotterer, you'll see right at the top a link to Truly Essential. This is really amazing. And I think all the tennis players, if you play tennis, it's tremendous. And what I love about it too, it's in an aluminum can that's lined. It's lined with plastic. Well, it's lined with it. It's not. It doesn't contaminate the water, the lining in this can. So it's better than drinking out of a plastic bottle, which I just heard that over the course of our lives, plastic gets into our brain. You can look it up. I mean, it's crazy to know that. I mean, I looked it up the other day. Plastic. Let me just see if I can find out plastic. Let's see what comes up here. Microplastic pollution. There it is. Microplastic pollution refers to the contamination of the environment by tiny plastic particles. So you know what? You didn't know that you would learn about getting away from eating food that is stored in plastic or drinking anything out of plastic. If it's glass or even if it's a can, it's better than drinking out of plastic. So you can look up, if you want to do research on it, it's called microplastic pollution. And these tiny particles actually can find their way to your brain. And they're doing research on it. So every day we learn something new. But in any event, it's halftime. And let's see. Well, it's not halftime yet. It is halftime. I don't know why it said, let's see here. What's going on? Oh, they're looking at the replay. Yeah. Well, this is actually right where, in my opinion, right where Patrick Mahomes wants it to be. I know you're probably saying, come on, Mike, but it's 24-0. Oh, there he is. Okay. It would be nice. It's not halftime. Sorry, but I'm behind. You all might be ahead. Oh, they just called a penalty. Well, let's see. Someone might be commenting. Do a little dance. Oh, the Miami Open. The Miami Open, March 16th to the 30th at the Hard Rock. Thank you, Lilia. Thank you. I would love to go and be with you there. So let's see. Okay. Second and 20. Let's see here. So you're probably all ahead of me. If you're watching the game, I'll just give you comments after the flag. It's still 24-0. And I'll tell you, Andy Reid, when he goes into halftime, they'll make adjustments. They're a good team. I mean, both teams are good teams, but you'll see Andy Reid making adjustments. I don't know if he's ever been in this position where he's been down 24-0. Largest postseason start. Okay. Let's see. Well, you know what? If the Chiefs can put any points on the board, and they may have already done it, you might have already seen it, but let's see. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to tune in to Yahoo Sports, because Yahoo Sports is probably faster than my TV. Okay. 40 seconds left. Let's see here. Yeah, no. No. Oh my gosh. Wide open. Now that's what Brian, let's bring him back on.
I'm coming.
Brian, you're right. Patrick Mahomes has not played a good first quarter. He missed this receiver wide open. But actually, the receiver should have caught the ball. Yeah, they're not playing well. I don't blame. The receiver should have kept running. You got to keep running. You don't fall. The receiver fell down. That was not a bad pass, in my opinion. So that's what it's going to end up, 24-0, Brian.
Wow.
So, Brian, I'm going to go take a quick break, and you're going to have the floor to talk. Let's see here if we have any comments. Yeah. Here's a little comment from Lilia. And, Brian, I'll be right back, and you can have the floor. And, by the way, everyone, Brian's going to talk about his experience in the National Football League and what it was like to play in a Super Bowl, and he's done it, being All-Pro. And actually, Brian, why don't you talk about, you were one of the first left tackles. When you talk about blindside, you were probably the first guy, and tell him about Michael Orr and your relationship with Michael Orr.
Well, one of the things that Bill Walsh understood, because your quarterbacks most of them are right-handed, which means the side that they can't see while they're throwing the ball, they have their back turned, is the left side. And the left side is where all the attacks are going to come from. And so that's why what you're looking for is you want your T-Rex to be on your left side. And that's why they call it the blind side, because it protects the blind side of the quarterback. Now, the coach that first dialed in on how important that left tackle was Bill Walsh, because he knew the offense that was going to be the future of the game was going to be using tremendous amount of misdirection, misinformation, lots of change-ups. And he also knew that the game in the future was going to be throwing the ball more. So that required you to have a T-Rex at the left tackle. And the left tackle had to understand his role was completely different. There's no other lineman on the field that had as demanding of a job. And because they want to attack you from the blind side, you're going to be faced having to block 1, 2, and sometimes 3 ball players. And those ball players will mix up. So you're going to have a lot of adjustments that you have to make in real time. While the other linemen playing next to you don't nearly have the same amount of intense drama and movement, and what looks like this is actually that. And so while I was at Stanford, my senior year, one of the defensive coach was Jack Harbaugh, which was John and Jim's dad. So I got to know the Harbaugh boys very well as they were in high school and get ready to launch in their journey. When John Harbaugh was with the Ravens, there was a year that came where they had a new tackle coming in, and it was tackle known as Michael Orr from the movie The Blind Side. And he gave me a call and asked, could I come up there and spend some time with Michael? And I flew up, and I got a chance to speak with Michael on the field. And I let him know that, yes, the left side is completely different. It is the place where you're going to be attacked the most at the highest speed. It is the toughest job. And that it's absolutely appropriate that him being the first round draft pick, that he was going to be, I don't want to say picked on, but you're expected to be a completely different caliber of player. And he said, I didn't want them to do a movie about me. Why can't people just treat me like a regular player? And I said, Michael, you're known all over the world. That was a gift you were trusted with. And because you were trusted with that gift, all these other ball players, don't have they aren't known all over the world. You are. And he says, well, I didn't ask for it. I just want to play. And I asked him, I said, then why are you playing down? He looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, Michael, I can block 2 people on every play. I've never seen a tackle that has the quickness that you do that can block 3. You can block 3 on every play catch. Why aren't you? He says, because people will make fun of me. People will make, I said, bro, you're quick. Don't worry about them. You play out that great gift that you have and do that.
Brian, we've got a friend of Tom Brady. First met Tom Brady, I believe, when he was in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Pierre Beaujean. Pierre, welcome.
Hello, gentlemen. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Hey, Pierre. Good to hear you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
How you guys doing? You having fun over there?
Very good. Very good. Where are you? Where are you? You look like you're in the mountains.
No, I'm at the house. I'm home.
Okay.
My son went to a big car and football party at one of our friends who owns a garage with all these fancy cars and all that. And I decided to stay home. I got a couple of guys over having a glass of wine, enjoying life.
There you go.
So, Pierre, could you share some Tom Brady stories? Brian,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pierre worked out. He knew Tom in high school.
I remember.
I've known Tom and his family forever. I literally have coffee with Tom Sr. almost every day of our lives here in San Mateo. Tom still lives in the same house that Tom Brady grew up in San Mateo. I know the entire family, his beautiful mom and his sisters. And so the funny part is, the great story that I have is the first time that when Tom was in high school, we used to play pickup basketball, and he would bring all his superstar boys from Sarah High School, where famous school where Barry Bonds went, Sarah, where my boys went, and so this is dating back about 25 years ago. Tom was on his way to college, and I bring Jerry Rice to one of the pickup games, and Jerry was a superstar at the time with the Niners, and of course Tom grew up around the Niners, and he was such a big fan. So the funniest thing about it is I walk in, and Jerry walks right behind me, and he's on the side stretching, getting ready to play, and he's doing his stretch. And when Tom sees him, he just about flips the lid. He goes ballistic. He grabs my arm, and he will remember this. He's tugging on my arm. He goes, Pierre, please. I said, Tom, what? You're going to give me a heart attack. What's going on? I said, what the hell's going on? He goes, please, introduce me. So I said, take it easy. The man is stretching. He's going to come over here in a minute. So I go, you'll love this, Dot. I go, JR, can you come over here for a second? He goes, what's up, Pierre? I said, I want to introduce you to this really nice young man. He's a superstar player. He's a great little quarterback at Sarah High School. And I think he's going to play some really good college ball, right? And he entered, and Jerry's 6'2", and Tommy already was like 6'3" or 6'4" in high school. So he's looking up to him like almost on the knee. He's like, he saw Jesus Christ up here, and he was like blown away. And so he goes, hey, nice to meet you. I go, yeah, I think he's going to play some great college ball, and he's a nice kid, really nice family right here. I know his dad and everything. So anyway, we talked, we had a little game. But one of the best stories ever is this, and I think that's why Tommy was so good, I think. And I'm going to take credit for this right now. So he used to bring his varsity boys one of his best friend was one of my friends, which was father was a contractor. One of my neighbors down in Redwood Shores at the time was Jerry, and we all lived down there. Tom Rathman, everybody lived in the neighborhood, right? When they first joined the team. And in those days, I mean, I just about sold every 49ers you can think of, a piece of property, from Dwight Clark to Joe Montana to, I just got with them back in the days. J.J. Stokes is still one of my greatest friends, Baba Paris, all these guys. I used to sell them all properties. Somehow I got involved with them back in the days. So Tommy brings his little boys to play a pickup game, and they're superstars. And here we are. I mean, I'm like, 20 years. He was like 18. I was like 38 at the time. And I had one good guy on the team, Dot. I think I told you that story. One guy played a little bit of college ball, but the other guys were average. And I'm pretty average. I mean, I'm a soccer player. I don't know diddly about basketball, but I love pickup games, right? So these guys, they're not even taking us seriously. The game goes to 11 straight up, right? No 2 points, to 11, best guy wins, right? And if you stay on the court, because there's people always waiting, and you want to stay on the court so you can play more. You don't want to be sitting there waiting, because there's 3 other teams of 4 waiting. It's half-court game. And they don't take us seriously or anything. And they're pushing and shoving. And I tell his buddy, Lurky, Steve, I said, Steve, if you push me one more time, it's twice my size, right? I said, I'm going to knock you down, and I'm going to tell your father, what a little jerk and arrogant kid you are. Oh, I'm sorry. So they were like going with us, like 6'6", 7', 6'7", 8'8", 9'9", and we take somehow 10, and we take the last shot. It was 10-10, and we win the game. And those boys, I mean, Brian, you know about winning, and you know about what it takes, and our guys, I mean, it's all about the win, right? These freaking guys, it's like you killed their mother. They went ballistic. These guys beat us. They couldn't. I mean, these guys were like superstars. They were all the varsity team from Sarah, and they were a great basketball team. And Tommy never forgot that. Tommy was like devastated. And I told his father, well, I had to teach him a lesson somehow. He goes, good. He needs to learn. And one of the other stories was great at the gym one time. He's practicing with his buddy Steve Lurky. There was his best friend in school. They lived together, whatever, close by. And he brings them, and they're throwing the ball around, practicing football before a pickup basketball game. And I go, hey, Tommy, show me what you got. He goes, what do you mean? Say, throw me the ball. He goes, you want a soft one or a hard one? I said, Tommy, you're only going to throw it to me once in my lifetime. So throw it as hard as you can. So, it's a regular size basketball gym, Brian. And I said, as hard as you can. But thank God, this is what happened. He throws it from one end of the corner of the gym to the other end. And I tried to catch it because I used to practice with Alex quite a bit. I have pretty good hand. I can throw, The freaking thing hits me right here and slides off. I did not try to grab it. So it slid up. He made a hole, big hole. We should have marked it in the back of the sheet truck. If I stopped it, it would have broken 2 of my fingers. This is how hard the ball came, spinning from across the thing. And I knew the kid had something then, it was amazing. So those are my great food. Oh, and then later on, you remember when Jerry went to the Raiders back in the day? So we followed, of course, we're all big 49er fans, but I followed Jerry wherever he went. We're like family, right? So we're at the game, and that big controversial play in the snow, when they remember the Raiders, when they said that they say it was forward, but the ball fell. You remember that big play, right? That put him in the first Super Bowl. So I was joking with Jerry. I said, hey, Jerry, I guess the kid got you. Huh? He goes, why the hell did you introduce me? Jerry, I mean, he's joking, I mean, Jerry's he's a love bug, He says, why did you introduce me to that freaking kid? They lost the game. The Raiders were supposed to go back to the Super Bowl, remember? That big, and this is the funniest thing.
The tuck rule.
Thing, yeah. Exactly. I said, see, Jerry, everybody that comes in contact with me becomes a superstar. Okay, well, don't introduce me to anybody else, okay? So that was a great story at the time.
Yeah.
Well, you had an inclination when Tom was in high school, and he threw that ball and so hard. You said, "Boy, this kid." He's got something. I
knew, and all I told Jerry, I said, the kid is a good quarterback, but who would have thought? Because the biggest problem that he had, and we had one guy, his name was Barney, that played basketball with us, and he was a superstar, and he never made it to the big leagues. but he was a major baseball player at San Mateo High School. They played against Burlingame all the time. And Barney used to run circles around him. He would go, it'd make him cry. He would go left, right. And Barney's only like 6'1", 6'2", but he was great at baseball, football, you name it, right? And Barney and his Tommy's dad used to come and watch. And he said, sorry, I beat up on your kid. He goes, that's good. You need to beat up on him. And Barney used to run circles because Barney had fast feet. And the thing with Tommy, he had great protection. That's why he became great, because he was very accurate at throwing the ball, right? And there's a great story. His father told me, actually, that when he wanted to be a football player, he said, Dad, I want to be a professional football player. He said, Tommy, everybody wants to be a professional football player. Come on, kid. You know, you're just in high school right here. He didn't even make the high school freshman team back in the day, if you know the story, at Sarah. So his father said, okay, I'll tell you what. They were in Hawaii, I think, when he told me. They were in Hawaii, and he got some kind of a tire or something, or something he put on top of a palm tree or whatever. He said, Tommy, here's a football. If you nail that thing straight on, like from about, I don't know what it was, 50 yards, whatever it was, you nail that thing from there, you knock it off, and I'll put all my resources behind you. I'll train you. I'll do everything. And Tommy looked at him and said, Dad, that's nothing. Yes, I can do that. And he took that freaking football and he nailed whatever he put on coconut, whatever he put on there. He nailed it straight on and knocked it. He says, okay, you got my attention. And then he had this great guy, Gonzalez, if you remember. My kid trained with him up at San Mateo College. He was a very, very respectable coach. You remember him, right? Then he worked with him so much and worked on his footwork and worked on all that stuff. Because honestly, nobody thought, that's why he got passed up. That's why he was 140 or whatever. He came home crying. He says, I can't believe it. He was such a big star at Michigan. And he brought him back from multiple games, you know, from behind, but nobody believed. Everybody watched him, looked at him. He said, this kid is not going to make it in NFL. He's too slow. His feet are not moving fast enough. But, you know, accuracy is one thing, and you get good protection in the pocket. You know the game, you know. I don't need to tell you guys. And so the sad part is that that all these people passed on him. And at the end of, sorry, my Rexy's going crazy. Somebody walked in the house. He's our little watchdog, little Frenchie. Little Frenchie goes nuts when somebody walks in. So that's what it is. And his dad put all the resources behind him. He paid for him, and that's how he came back. But it was literally, he came home after he was trying to be drafted, and his father says it was literally. I don't want to make the kid look bad. I mean, who cares? He's a superstar now, and look at him. He's doing such great announcement and everything. But his father said he was literally in tears. So I can't believe nobody's picking me up. I'm like 120 down the list, whatever it is. And then Belichick came along and he saw something in him, and he said, I want this kid. But you got to say, the kid had fortitude, and he had, for everybody that's watching, for young people, this guy never gave up. When he joined the team as a 7th quarterback, and nobody picks that, you know, nobody in NFL picks more than 4 quarterbacks.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's way down the list, 6 or 5, whatever. And what's his name gets hurt and all that. But the story is, after the first game, when he was practicing out there, the owner of the team, what's his name, Kraft, comes along and says, everybody knows the story now, but at the time, he comes over and says, hey, welcome to the team, young man. He's having pizza after a game, and he's sitting there. And he gets up, and he says, sir, thank you. It's the best decision your team ever made. I mean, you got to give it to him, right?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't arrogant. He was that confident. You know?
No, that's it. That's him.
The rest is history. We know what happened. What's his name got hurt. He got in there, and he went from 5th quarterback, whatever it was. He went like within a year. He was competing with what was his name? The guy that was in front with Kraft, with Belichick. The guy that got hurt. What was his name? The quarterback.
Was that Drew?
Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
And I remember when he came out here one time, he came to visit the parents right from college, I think. They were both in college, actually. They came to San Mateo, and Alex and my son, were down at the
you guys keep going.
Yeah, we're down at the little golf place, you know, in San Mateo, and he came up with Drew, and they were out there hitting golf balls and stuff, you know. So, but anyway, a lot of fun.
Well, Pierre, Pierre, you are amazing. Just to let everyone know, Pierre grew up in Croatia. And
No, I grew up in France. I was born in,
no. Just a second.
Yeah.
You were born in Croatia.
Born in Croatia. I came to France. My father escaped Yugoslavia. I came to France when I was 2 or 3 years old. I grew up in France. That was my first basic language. My mother taught me Croatian because at home she was a homemaker. Then I came to the United States with my parents when I was 14. Went to Burlingame High School. Actually, to this day, I'm friends with Bing Crosby's kid, the professional golfer, Nathaniel, who lives over in Florida by you guys. He's one of my best friends, and he won the amateur, I think, at 21 years old at Pebble Beach, the Crosby Classic, which is now AT&T, right?
Yeah.
And to this day, he lives in Florida. He's a member of Seminole, where Tommy is a member of the big golf course that everybody wants to be a part of. So him and I went to high school together, and we're friends to this day. Every time he comes to town, we hang out. So that's kind of my story. Came here when I was 14, graduated from Burlingame, been here ever since. Been in real estate for 45 years. Now I got my son working with me and stuff.
And Pierre, share with our audience, you got involved right after you graduated from high school. You got involved in the
real estate.
You got involved in the real estate industry, and you happened to, obviously, the 49ers, Bill Walsh, became the head coach of the Niners in 1979. And why don't you tell everybody how you started helping the 49ers with real estate and helping them buy homes, and then ultimately that got you connected with Jerry Rice?
It was a fluke, believe it or not. I was sitting, in real estate, you get this floor time where you answer the phone. Back in the days, they still do it now, but not as much because now it's all automatic. But you would sit on the floor, you'd have floor duty, it's called, and people would call in if they're interested in the property, and then you try to convert them into buyers or whatever. I get a call from a guy named Dwight Clark. I'm literally 19 years old, and the guy, Dwight Clark, calls in. He's interested in a condo in Redwood Shores. This is unbelievable. And the guy standing next to me, and I go, who's this guy? I go, hey, he wants to buy a condo. He tells me I only have so much. I just started with the Niners or something like that. And I said, I don't know if I can find you anything, but I tell you what, give me your number and I'll call you back and find out. And that's how, and the guy next to me goes, are you kidding me? That was Dwight Clark that just called you? The guy was older next to me, and he was a big 49er. And he goes, so who's Dwight Clark? He goes, he's a big freaking receiver. He's a prospect. He just got taken with the team, the second, third round, whatever, with Joe Montana and all that. And he's telling me this whole story. So I called Dwight Clark back. I go, hey, I think I'll be able to find you a condo. And after Dwight, I started meeting. And then of all luck, after that, Jerry Rice, after I sold a few of them properties, Baba Perez, Keena Turner, Eric Wright, all these guys were buddies. And Jerry Rice, of all people, rents his first house when he joins the team right across the street from me in Redwood Shores.
Yeah.
And then I met Taylor. I met, you name it. I mean,
yeah.
JJ, all these guys,
Yeah, those were the good.
I met Eddie DeBartolo back in the day, which I still love to this day. I think he was the best team owner that's ever been, I think, on the planet. All the guys love them, so I got a chance to meet them. I worked with them a little bit, and so.
Pierre, what was the most memorable Super Bowl that because I know you went to.
I went to a couple of them. The most memorable one was the one in Texas. If you remember, we went to Dallas, and it was snowed in, and it was crazy. I mean, they never seen snow in Dallas at that time, and the stadium just got built. I remember, what was that, 15 years, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Years back, right? Yep. You remember that. And we were there, and popsicle were on the side of the building falling down. Some guy almost got nailed. A big icicle came from the top. It was frozen, and the roads were all frozen. Cars were left on the side of the road. On the and I met Ditka at that time. Remember, we went to a party with Ditka, and then you got me a party with our friend from the sports agent. I got to meet him.
Lee Steinberg.
Steinberg. Remember, we went to his party in Dallas, and we all hanged out back there. And I think that was the most fun ever. I don't think we ever made it to the stadium because it was too crowded. It was too crazy, and there was no way to get in and out. And but it was all snowed in. I remember everybody kept saying, "You from California?" He said, "You should have brought some chains from California for the cars because nobody's ever seen snow. You would have made a fortune. A truck full of chains for the wheels, because everybody was sliding off the road. remember, a 3-lane highway. Only one way, both ways was open because they had never seen that much snow. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was
the one
that was
at Stanford,
2011. 2011, Green
Yes.
Bay Packers versus the Steelers.
The one I didn't make it because I was in a seminar, but I remember the one at Stanford, the one that they played at Stanford where Jerry had all those touchdowns.
Yeah,
I was at a seminar, locked away at a seminar in San Francisco, and I come outside, and the cars everywhere, people, the horns blowing, all this stuff, and it was crazy. I don't know why I was at a freaking seminar that day, but I was in the middle of San Francisco. I come outside from the hotel, and the whole city was on fire, So,
well,
Brian,
I just want to thank you so much for joining us at halftime, and you get the last word here because I know you got to get back to your.
I want to watch the game.
Yeah.
Hey, can you believe that? I thought this game was going to be a lot closer. What the heck happened to Kansas City?
Yeah, what's going on, Brian? Give us your analysis,
What's going
Brian.
on with Kansas City here? They fell apart.
They are they're in shock right now. They didn't have their series come out. I mean, Mahomes is not completing his passes, and is just throwing the ball in places that I've never seen him throw the ball before.
I mean, he's like confused or something, dazed and confused. And the other team just came out to play. I mean, those guys are on fire. I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, but
there's the second half. Let's see what happens, right?
If any person can come back down 24, Mahomes can do it.
Oh no, that he's a great kid. I had the pleasure to meet him a couple of times up in Lake Tahoe, which I told you, Brian. I told you, and he was a gentleman. He wasn't snobby or anything. He came out, and it's a funny thing because I was. He knows I'm tied to Jerry Rice quite a bit, and he walked from the back, and then he was on his way back to that VIP room, but he had all his boys around him. They were playing blackjack at the table, and all his little friends from college, they were all there. They all love him. And on the way, he walks away that way, and he runs into me again. He goes, "Well, you following me or what? You like me?" I said, "Look, this is a funny story." I said, "Look, sorry, I just blanked out his first name. Mahomes' first name."
Oh, Patrick.
I said, "Patrick, look," I said, "I like you a lot, but don't worry, I'm from San Francisco, but I'm not from that part of San Francisco." He was on the floor. Oh,
and you were following him around, right?
Yeah. He says, "You follow me around. You like me?"
I know he likes you.
You're a nice kid. I like you, but believe me, you don't have to watch your back with me. I said,
"Oh gosh,
that was the funniest." Yeah.
Well, Pierre.
Yeah.
You know what? Give my love to Liz and the boys.
I will.
And you get the last. Okay, you get the last word, Pierre. What's
I
your
want
prediction?
Brian to get the last word in.
Well,
Brian, tell me something.
Okay.
What do you think, Brian? Do they have a chance in the second half?
Well, coming back from 26 points can be done.
Yep.
He's going to have to come out slinging. And his first time he has the ball, he's got to do something big. If he doesn't, I think he'll continue to crumble.
Yeah, he looks lopsided right now, but hopefully he'll shake things up,
Well, Pierre, we love you, brother.
Hey, I love you too. Thank you, guys. Dot, I'll see you soon.
And Pierre, by the way, Pierre's got his eyes on El Salvador, Colombia, and Argentina.
Yeah. We're in Colombia right now with Tim, and we're making some waves over there, and hopefully we'll be back in Mexico too.
Well, thank you. Give our love to Liz and the boys. And Pierre, thank you
It's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you
Brian,
for sharing.
Brian, hit me up when you're back at your home school of Stanford, okay?
You got it, buddy.
And Dot, I want to meet your lady.
Lilia.
Yes.
Lilia, actually, yep. You're gonna in Naples, Florida. Yep.
Awesome. I hope to come out to Florida and hang out at one of the resorts right there. I'm not gonna name any names.
We love you, Pierre.
Love you too. Bye, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Bye, Brian.
Give my love to Liz.
I will. Will say hi to Sylvia.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Brian.
Okay. Lilia, by the way, Lilia says, what did Coach Walsh say? I don't know what she was referring to. She sent that.
Well, which Walt said was, there's many more ways to score. And then he went and he knew of these things called algorithms, meaning that is there a way to crack the code to the defense, and discovered there are many more ways to score. And then he expanded using all 50 yards wide, 10 feet high, and that became the frontier. And he discovered that there was many. There are, I think he wanted to say, there are 22 holes on every play. 22. Natural holes that open up. All you have to do is get the ball and move the quarterback.
Well, Brian, as you know, as a running back, the goal of the running back is run to daylight. And what you just shared with me, I'd never heard that. 21 holes. There's 21 places to run for daylight.
Well, no, running is different.
Okay.
Because you could throw the ball at 3 feet high, you could throw it 6 feet high, you could throw it 9 feet high. So those are also places that the ball can go where you don't have to block anybody. So that's why the passing game has much more power than the running game and much more striking force. But what opens up the passing game? The running game.
Right. Speaking of, I guess, the running game, we've got our good friend Pam, who we both know. Pam says, Brian, tell him what Bill Walsh said in the halftime locker room when they were down 20-0 versus Georgia Bulldogs.
What Bill Walsh said says, just keep executing. We've got them where we want them, and now we're going to sting them. He set up, the first half was setting him up. He wasn't concerned because he knew how fast you could score touchdowns. At any point, he could score 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes, easy. So he wasn't sweating that.
So that's a lesson, Coach Andy Reid right now. Hopefully he has that Bill Walsh mindset. You're down, obviously, at halftime. It's a 20+0 deficit. And Andy Reid's going to have to probably say something similar to what Bill Walsh said in the locker room at your Bluebonnet Bowl in 1978 in the Houston Astrodome. And by the way, Pam, just so everyone know, Pam Guzzi was a diver at Stanford. She was a dolly, which many of you don't refer to dollies. You call them cheerleaders and song leaders. She was a song leader. We call them dollies. And she's one of the most brilliant women that I know that graduated from Stanford, other than Lilia. And thank you, Pamela Guzzi, for chiming in. And Brian, you want to say hi to Pam?
Guys, we're watching the game right now. I'll call you afterwards.
Well, she might ask. Oh, there we go. She's got a couple of things here. Oh, Pam just said, call Kenny and Darren. Oh, gosh. Yeah, everybody knows Kenny and Darren. Kenny Marjoram and Darren Nelson, both 2 Stanford Hall of Famers, great receiver, and one of the all-time great college running backs and NFL running backs, Darren Nelson. So we do need to call him. Oh, let me see. They told Kenny and Darren to run the power pattern. Oh.
The game's on, brother.
All right. Well, hey, what's happening here? Yes, you did, Pam. Pam knew us back in the day. Okay. Thank you, Pam. We love you. All right. Well, Brian, what do you have? I have 14:32 and 14:30. You're probably ahead of me. How much time do you have on the clock?
13:42.
Wow. Yeah, you're about, 40 seconds ahead of me.
Wow. They got him sacked again.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Fangio. Vic Fangio, he could be the big difference. Coaching is huge, in my opinion. Just like in tennis, right, Lilia? Coaching. And Fangio's never, by the way, Vic Fangio has never been on a Super Bowl winning team yet. This might be his first Super Bowl. Yep. So, Brian, what happened?
Mahomes had to scramble out of the pocket. His guys aren't getting open. He's got his hand on his hip. That's not good.
Let's see.
Wow.
Well, if the Chiefs don't win this game, then maybe there'll be some fans that'll tune back in, because that's really important, that every team has a shot to win the Super Bowl. That's important. So that would be my comment. And would love to have our Raiders. Now, that's a good question. Pete Carroll. Have you ever met Pete Carroll, Brian?
No, I haven't, but I sure know of him.
What do you think about Pete Carroll going to the Raiders?
I think he's got the right personality. I think he's got the California and West Coast down. And I think there's going to be a difference because Brady is involved in some of the decision making.
Now, this is interesting. I gotta bring this up because so many great players: Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Ted Williams. Those are three different sports, and three different sports. The only two that I can think of that were great at their game and then also did well as in the administrative side of the business, whether it's general manager, president, or John Elway. He won 2 Super Bowls as a player, and then John, as a general manager, president, got Peyton Manning to go to the Broncos, and they won a Super Bowl. And then the other one was the great tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. What was his name? He was the general manager for the Ravens.
Oh, he was good too.
What was his name?
Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome. Now, there's a great player who did a great job, but those are the only two that I can think of. So, because Wayne Gretzky, he was the great one. And then he tried to, get involved with the Phoenix, whatever in Arizona. And it just, it wasn't, he wasn't feeling it. Ted Williams, the last player to hit over 400, went into managing, and he managed the Washington Senators, which became the Texas Rangers, and was not successful. Michael Jordan, after his career, got involved in, some basketball, ownership, and it just didn't work out. So the reason I say that is Tom Brady, tremendous quarterback. What's going to make Tom Brady successful? What's the difference between Tom Brady, his greatness, compared to Gretzky, Michael Jordan, and Ted Williams?
Well, Brady has been the centerpiece of a team and takes tremendous amount of time to go and master every part of that playing field. And his studying was phenomenal. His ideas were phenomenal. His communication style with the players was phenomenal. So there's something real special there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, and it's what Pierre Bouljon just shared with us. I mean, Pierre knew Tom when he was in high school. And obviously, people didn't think there's no way people thought, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be the GOAT. And, he's got 7 Super Bowl rings. I used to say Terry Bradshaw, had 4, and Joe Montana had 4. I said, you know what? No one's going to pass that up. And
wow.
What happened?
Picked up about 30 yards real quick.
Well, Brian, you're ahead of me.
He was flushed out of the pocket.
Who are we talking about, Brian?
Hurts.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just had an open shot to take it down the field, and he picked up a quick 20 or 30.
Are they at the 50-yard line?
40-yard line.
Kansas City's 40? Oh, wow. Yep.
Okay.
Well, I wonder what the percentage is of when you're down 20, 24-0. What are the percentages that the Chiefs can come back?
Oh, boy.
What happened?
Jalen Hurts. There's going to be an explosion coming, man. He's going to bust a long one here.
Oh, wow.
Could you imagine it'd be 31-0? That'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know has that ever happened in Super Bowl history? 31-0?
Oh, it's about to happen.
Let's see. Let's look up. Let's see here. Has any Super Bowl team been down 31-0? Let's see this one.
I'm right here. Yeah, I can hear you.
I know you can.
Okay.
All right, here we go. No team has ever faced a 31-0 deficit. The most significant halftime deficit was Super Bowl 24 in 1990 when the 49ers led the Broncos 27-3 at halftime. And ultimately, I remember this game. Ultimately, and so does John Elway, the 49ers beat the Broncos. The 49ers beat the Broncos 1990, Super Bowl 24, 55-10. That was
that was ugly, yeah.
So if the Eagles score, this is record setting.
Whoa.
What happened, Brian?
Oh, oh my gosh. They're down to the 4-yard line now.
Wow.
For the pass. He started rolling out. There was no one open. And then he got one right down the sideline.
Yeah, they're not having anyone spying on Hurst.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I don't know how many of our listening audience remembers. Oh, nice catch. Remembers Dandy Don Meredith.
No one, bro. No one knows. No one knows.
Well, Dandy Don Meredith I had a chance to play golf with him back in, I think it was 1980, 88, 87, the 80s, late 80s. And Frank Gifford was there, and
Right?
it was in the Westchester Country Club in New York.
Can we watch the game?
Hey, I was mentioning Danny Don Meredith because when he was on Monday Night Football with Howard Cosell and Frank Gifford, if it goes 31-0, which it might already go because you're ahead of me, he would sing the song, "Turn out the lights.
Oh, God.
The party's over."
No, he wouldn't.
Turn out. Yes, he would. Danny Don might start singing, "Turn out the lights."
24-0 is not.
No.
It's not game over, bro.
Well, what's happened right now? Tell me what's going. Because you're.
They're in the huddle. He's calling a play off his sleeve. And they're on the 7-yard line.
Well, I want to congratulate the men in stripes. I'm going to call them men in stripes because they haven't called all those stupid holding penalties. Because as you know, Brian, is it true? Correct if it's true. Could you call a holding penalty on every play?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. How about every other play, Brian? Every other play?
No.
Well,
you hear people talk like that.
No, I'm just saying that, I see them, how they get up underneath and they hold the jerseys. All right. Did they kick a field goal, Brian? Because you're ahead of me.
They cut to a commercial.
By the way, if anybody could type in, has there been a Doge commercial yet?
I haven't seen one.
I haven't either. Let me just see. Okay. Pamela Ray, have you seen a Doge commercial? Pamela Ray.
There was a Starlink commercial.
Yeah. Lilia, have you seen that's Elon Musk. Lilia, Have you seen a Doge commercial?
He didn't say it was going to be a Doge commercial. It was said that it was going to be an Elon commercial.
Okay. All right. And Lewis, I don't know if Lewis is still watching. And Mark Fenton, if any of you have seen a Doge commercial.
No, there hasn't.
Okay, there hasn't been. But there's been a Starlink, which, by the way, what an amazing technology Starlink is.
Bro, we're talking about a football game. Not
Yeah,
Sonic.
it's a commercial right now. We can talk about side notes. So, Brian, it's 24-0, and it's going to be at least, if they don't turn the ball over, which I don't think they will, it's going to be the least. It's going to be 27 or 31 to 0, with most of the third quarter, over half the third quarter gone. I think, as I said, Dandy Don Meredith,
No.
turn out the lights.
No.
Sung that. I think,
Yet.
who sang that song? Turn out the lights. I think it was Willie Nelson. Who sang
No.
Turn out the lights? The party's over.
Wow.
What happened?
First down on the 6-yard line. First down? Third down. What? So field goal units coming on the field.
Okay, 27-0. Yeah, Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson sang it. I knew it was Willie.
What did Willie Nelson sing?
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
No, it's not over. I would fake this field goal. I swear I would. I would fake a field goal. I would have faked it.
Oh, yeah. That was Dandy Don Meredith. I couldn't wait for Monday Night Football back in the day. Now they have football every single day.
Wasn't that smart?
Yep. It was Sunday and Monday and one Monday night. That's it. There was no Thursday night. There was no Saturday games.
There you go.
Oh, there's a flag. What happened?
There's some offsides, but now they kicked it through. It's 27-0.
Okay. So that's it's a four score game. You got to score 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns is 28. So Patrick Mahomes is going to have to do a real quick turnaround, or I will be playing Dandy Don's rendition. I will be playing it.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Did you know that Don Meredith's daughter went to Stanford University? Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Tell us a little more about yourself. How old are you?
Dandy Don Meredith.
Okay.
And
Did you know Frank Gifford's daughter married Michael Kennedy?
I did know that. Yep.
Yeah.
So, who was the quarterback? That's a little trivia if anyone's listening. Lilia just made a comment here. Let me see what Lilia said. Lilia said, oh, here we go. Lilia said, wait for it. Do you have photo of Brian's playing days? Yes, I have photos of Brian. Brian has photos of Brian. Right, Brian?
Well, I do. I mean, you have the one with you and me running out.
I do. Actually, I think I can change that here. Let me see here. Let me change my background here. There we go. There's Brian number 67.
Right?
Yep. There you are. I'll move over. Make sure you're in the picture. So there's Brian. And Pamela Ray has a comment. Time to get out some dolly pics. Oh, boy. You know what? Let me see here. I'm going to see if I can get a dolly pic here. Let me see.
Bro, we're watching the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They just kicked off.
Oh, Frank Brennan bragging about recruiting Lilia. Yeah. Thank you, Pam. Yep. Look at that, Lilia. Pam remembers Frank talking about you. Oh, hey, Brian, look what Lilia just said. Look what Lilia said. Now, you talk about exciting. We know it's not over, especially when you have the band come on the field. That's something that very few people have ever experienced. Well, actually, no one's ever experienced that in football. So, Brian,
I'm watching the Super Bowl.
Well, tell us, what do they need to do?
They're doing it right now. They're starting to move the ball. But they're going to have to throw some strikes quick.
You know, it looks to me like the Eagles defense, again, Vic Fangio's got his Eagle defense fired up. They're playing good defense.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, no.
Brian, what happened? You have to be you're a play-by.
He's scrambling all around and it looked like he fumbled the ball. But they marked it down. Mercy. Holding on. Kansas City. Oh my. Oh, well, yeah, that's holding right there. Oh boy. But, you know, Mahomes, he can't hold the ball for 20 seconds, bro.
Well, he's got his, he's looking like he wants to catch up, but I just think it's too much. There's not enough time. Well, I don't know. And and the referees are calling penalties against the Chiefs, so.
Nope.
Oh boy. Yep. You know,
first completion to Kelsey.
Right, first completion of the whole game, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, let me ask you, because we see a lot of face masking, penalties where you pull the face mask. I see it all the time today. When we played, I don't remember
No.
the face. What's going on today, Brian?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing that being a thing.
I personally think the players just say, hey, what the heck, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. I don't think they.
Whoa! Oh, it was almost another interception. Running back for a touch. Wow! Wow! It was so close.
You know what I also think? I think because they wear gloves to protect their fingers. And Brian, you know a little bit about fingers. I think they're more inclined to say, "Oh, you know what? I'm not going to hurt my finger. Let's pull the face mask."
Yeah, that could be true too.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is off. He's just not playing the way. And just to let you know, I think I mentioned to you, I wasn't going to say it, but when he was warming up, he just didn't look happy. I don't know why. Probably because he's had to answer a lot of questions about, did you get there? Did you get to the Super Bowl fair and square? And I know he's been, constantly. I mean, all these plays going your way, and psychologically, that might have impacted him, and he's just not playing the way. What?
No.
Well, why? What do you think is causing Patrick Mahomes to not play as well as we've seen him?
Someone spiked his orange juice.
No. That happened to Tony Eason. Is bad water.
Yeah, he got some X-Lax.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Who'd have thought, right? Going into the fourth quarter?
Is it fourth quarter already, Brian?
No, but going into, we're close.
So let's see, is any team, well, we already know, because we had answered that question earlier about back in 1990, Doug Williams in 1990 scored 35 points in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
It sure can.
So let's see here. I've never asked this question. What are the odds? What are the odds of the Kansas City Chiefs scoring not 35, let's just say 28 points.
Oh my gosh.
What?
A 40-yard touchdown bomb.
Oh, baby.
33-0.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah. This could be. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just play it.
And turn off the lights.
They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing.
There we go. Turn out the lights. Well, this is good for the National Football League. Good for the NFL. And
this is turned into a beatdown, bro.
it's a smackdown. And it's good for the National Football League. So, because there's people out there, I text some of my friends. I said, hey, come on, tune in with us. And they said, nope, I'm not watching. So this is good for the game.
They're missing a beatdown.
And it'll be, again, Derek Jeter and Ken Norton Jr., the only athletes to three-peat. Only two. Check it. And I thought Mahomes was going to do it, but that's it. And it'll be interesting. I thought Mahomes had a shot at Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowls, but he's got 4. I thought he was going to get his 4th today. I don't think it's going to be. And so, if he had gotten 4, he'd only need 3 more to tie Tom Brady, but he's not going to get it. And Brian, these guys get bigger, faster, stronger. And Patrick Mahomes likes to run around. How many quarterbacks can you think of that when they run around play long, long careers? Whereas Tom Brady, he didn't run around too much. And I think that contributed to him being able to play that long.
Yeah. Yep. The runners don't stay around too long.
So I think Tom Brady's going to be pretty secure with being the GOAT. I think it's going to be tough for Mahomes to catch him.
Mahomes can't catch him.
Hey, Brian, look what Lilia just posted, the Stanford reunion this coming October.
Wow. They just hit a deep ball. Oh, boy.
Hey, Brian, Pamela says you've had some wine.
No. I got my feet up, Jackson.
I'm drinking truly essential water here.
Yep.
And I don't know, Lilia, what does this mean? Does this mean hearts? What is that? That's a smiley face. And we're going to remove this person, I think. I think I can remove them.
Whoa. A minute and 40 seconds left in the third quarter. 34 points.
Do you want me to play the song again, Brian?
No. There's still football.
All right.
Whoa. He threw his little shuffle. You know how he would shuffle the ball off to the side?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
Well, that's what the I could see him at shortstop, like Derek Jeter throwing a little,
Yeah.
He grew up as a little kid watching baseball.
Yeah.
But I think 34 points is too much, Brian. I'm getting real tempted to play the song again. My fingers are. They haven't put the camera on the Kelsey's girlfriend up there.
Taylor?
Swifty. Yeah, I haven't seen I think I've only seen the camera in the Swift box once.
Yeah, she probably left.
How many more years do you think Andy Reid's going to coach, Brian?
Touchdown.
Touchdown?
Yep.
All right, 34-7. I won't play the song until Jalen Hurts scores another touchdown. Now that would be, if Jalen Hurts scores another touchdown, that's called a Tiger Woods. We're gonna push it. We're gonna put the nail right in. That's the Tiger Woods, what Tiger would do in golf. So we'll see if Hurst.
They're going for 2. Incomplete. Wow. Let me turn this up. Where does the clicker go?
Now, Brian, you could do play-by-play because you're ahead of me. You're
No, bro.
You can do play-by-play.
You call the game the way you want to.
No, but
I call the game the way I want to.
We have record number of people out there saying, "What's happening?" They've turned off Tom Brady and they're listening to Brian Holloway. They're listening to you.
Hey, the Eagles came out, and I said from the beginning, revenge is a powerful force. Okay? And they beat them last time. So there's some grudge.
That's true.
That's a force.
That is true.
Now, Mahomes has never experienced a beatdown like this before.
Right.
And he could snap out of down by 20 points, down by 21. But down like this is an awful lot.
Would you like me to play the song?
No. Bro, there's still a quarter left. Right? Can they score 30 points in a quarter? Yes.
Well, let's see. Has Kelsey caught one or 2 passes? How many passes has Kelsey caught?
I want to say 1, maybe 2.
Let's see. We're gonna find out right now how many passes. Okay, here we go. Kelsey has caught 2 passes. That's correct. 2 passes for 22 yards. And Mahomes he has thrown for 148 yards. He's 12 for 22 with 2 interceptions, 2 picks. Remember we talked about the turnovers.
Yeah.
So I think and Hurts only has one interception. I don't think there've been any fumbles, so there you go.
Wow.
Everybody, I just want to apologize. When Brian says, wow, I know you're probably saying, what happened?
No, it's just I'm watching it. I just can't believe. I mean, I knew this was possible, but I didn't expect it to be such a beatdown.
Yeah. Well, that Hurst, looking at him, he's got the eye of the tiger. Wow. Well, here's the thing. I mean, you really looked at body language when he came to the game. I was watching him. He was all business. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is business too. But when I watched him, it just didn't look to me like he was happy. So I wasn't going to say anything because I still thought that he wanted to be the first part of the first team to ever three-peat in NFL. The only one that's done it in any other major sport American major sport is Derek Jeter on the same team, and then Ken Norton Jr. did it with two different teams.
Do you think he cares? Do you think he cares?
Oh, Mahomes cares.
He's making $500,000 per game. Do you think he cares?
No, Mahomes, I'm telling you right now, Mahomes would love to become what we call the GOAT, because right now it's Tom Brady.
He's not. Okay?
That's all I'm saying. I mean, he's a team player. I mean, I'm just saying that people talk about it, and, and he probably, because he's human, he's like, and I'm like, that's a good goal to, yeah. I mean, winning 7 Super Bowls and possibly breaking.
Bro. Okay. He sucks right now.
I know that.
Okay.
We know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just yeah. Well, here's the question, Brian. Do you think this would be, do you think they could come back? Do you think that the Chiefs, because this is, I've seen this, for example, the Seattle Seahawks. I'll never forget in that Super Bowl when all they had to do is to give what I called them the beast mode. Marshawn Lynch, just give him the ball.
Give him the ball.
Give Marshawn the ball, and you win the Super Bowl.
He had too much accelerators put in his contract, and they got the ball to someone who had nothing in his contract, and it cost them the game.
Well, it's just, but here's the point I'm making is I remember when that happened, I turned off the set. I just couldn't watch. I said, I can't believe I saw this. I can't believe it. I turned off the set and I turned to the person I was watching the game with. I said, you know what? Seattle will never win another Super Bowl in a long, long time. And they've not, and that affected them. I know that feeling because, in college, our band came on the field and it affected Stanford's for quite a while. Right. Stanford was impacted. So this beatdown psychologically is going to affect Patrick Mahomes, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
And Hurst, I'll tell you, I think Hurst might come back next year and be in the same position for a Super Bowl. I wouldn't. The way the Eagles are playing is very impressive.
Yeah. And this is where the Eagles are the strongest because they got that big offensive line up there.
And they got Barkley. And all those Penn State Nittany Lions are cheering because that's where Shokon went to college, Penn State.
Wow. First down across the middle.
Thank you, because I don't know what wow means.
It's just I'm watching the impressive mix of the plays and how they go and set up the play to create the receiver that's open. Wow.
Well, you know what? The offensive coordinator.
Fourth quarter, bro.
I know.
There's 12 minutes left. There's 12 minutes.
What do you think? What does that mean?
This party's over, bro.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. I wanted to get your approval. And here we go. Where do we go here?
Bro. Oh.
They say that all good things must end. All at night, the party's over. Tomorrow and next year, start the same old.
Bro.
You know, Jalen Hurst, there's a picture he has on his phone of when they played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it's him walking off the field with the red and white Kansas City confetti coming down at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he had that on he kept that because he wanted to remember that feeling of coming off the field with the
inspirational disgust.
Yeah. And so I think Jalen Hurst, this might be the beginning of him winning 2 or 3, maybe 4 Super Bowls.
Wow. Ow, ow, ow. 10 minutes left on the clock, brother. Wow.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's just I'm in shock.
Yeah, so you never I didn't think it would be a blowout. I thought it would be a close game.
No, it's not a blowout. It's a beat down.
A smackdown.
This is blunt trauma, bro.
Yep. Well, the city of brotherly love, they're going to be celebrating tonight.
Bro, you have no idea.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I would love to see. It's too bad that ABC is not doing the game.
Oh my gosh, he's going for a 50-yard field goal.
Oh, he wants to make it 37-6.
No way.
What happened?
48 yards.
Good?
Yep.
37-6. All right.
Bro.
All right, here we go.
Bro.
That's it. All righty. Well, you know what's amazing? We still got people that are tuned in. We've gone over 3 hours, Brian, and there's still quite a few people around the world listening.
Wow, wow, wow.
So, Brian, what do you think? I mean, are we going to, is that, who is that famous actor? What's his name? Indiana Jones.
Yes. Wow. Oh, the electric car.
Oh, the Jeep Wrangler.
Stretch, 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 stretch. Wow. Jeep. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Harrison Ford. That's a long commercial for Jeep.
Yes, it was.
Got a good looking dog in there. Wow. So, Brian, do you think you're ever going to buy an electric car?
Hold on.
So let's see here if anyone has any questions, because we're getting down. Oh, yeah. Lilia just made a comment. It's going to be crazy in Philly. Yep, it is, Lilia. Crazy, crazy. Yep. They're going to have a big Super Bowl parade.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to go to bed tonight.
Yep. And if you go back, the last time I believe we looked at, when I was doing some research on the greatest Super Bowls, and one of those that Super Bowl that Nick Foles, it was called
Oh, my gosh.
what was that here?
Oh, my gosh. Mahomes got wrecked. Eagles got the ball.
Yeah, but that Super Bowl in 2005. So 2005? Yeah, 2005. This was
man, we got blasted.
2005 was almost 19 years ago. The Eagles.
Look, everyone's watching this play. And they got the ball back.
Yeah. Psychologically, I think this might be the end of the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty. Psychologically. Because so much of sports is psychological. And I've been watching all sports since the 60s. And this is a smackdown. Big time. Wow. Tom Brady never experienced anything quite like this, did he?
No.
Brian? No. This is now John Elway did. Now this would be interesting. Maybe Patrick should go call John and say, "Hey, John," because that's the one thing John did. He got their first 3 Super Bowls. John's Broncos, they got beat pretty badly. I mean, they were some smackdowns. And he came back in his last back Super Bowls, which quite amazing. Similar to what Tom Brady did when he went to Tampa. So Mahomes, the problem I have with Mahomes is John Elway became a drop back passer, stopped running too much toward the end of his career. Patrick Mahomes is not your typical drop back passer. He's a guy that moves around a lot. I think this might be it for Patrick Mahomes. What are your thoughts, Brian?
That's not it for Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Well, to win one Super Bowl is amazing. This would have been his fourth, but this is a psychological smackdown. And a lot of times when psychology plays a role in sports, very difficult to overcome.
Shut up. That's so stupid.
If you're
what
watching,
what we're good at is overcoming stuff.
Absolutely, we want to. If anyone has any comments, just tell me. Say, Coach Dot or Mike or whatever you want to call me, you're wrong. Or you could say, I see your point. I'm really happy for Shaquan Barkley. And for Hurst, because they got stolen that game a couple years ago when they played Kansas City. I was torn up when they threw the penalty against the Philadelphia Eagle defensive back. And I'm happy for Vic Fangio. He finally gets his first Super Bowl ring. And this might be just the beginning. I think the Eagles, well, this is the key. Can the Eagles keep their team intact and not have too many people leaving? What do you think, Brian? Is it hard to keep when you win a Super Bowl? How difficult is it to keep your team?
With the way the contracts are now and free agency, yes, the team will be taken apart.
Wow. Oh, he just said it. Tom Brady, the game isn't over till it's over. But Tom, let me play the song for you, Tom. I just love this song. I just love it. Here we go.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year start the same old thing again.
That's it. And look at Fangio. Isn't jumping up and down. He's got his game face on.
Oh my gosh! So they're going for another field goal.
Oh yeah, they're doing the Tiger Woods. They're doing the Tiger Woods.
40-6.
Yep.
They got to move back 5 yards. He's got to kick a 45-yarder now.
Yeah, I was just listening to the broadcast. I think Tom Brady, he said the team really wanted to win one for Vic Fangio. That's good. 40-6.
Oh, hell yeah.
What happened?
50-yard field goal.
Why do they have penalties on field goals?
The people were offsides, Jackson.
Let's see. Yep. Well, all the NFL head coaching positions are taken, Brian. And so whether it's the Chiefs or the
Someone could get fired.
no, I think fired. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it bodes well if New England can kind of try to keep their staff together. Fangio stays. Now their offensive coordinators, the former Boise State. I think he played at Boise State. His name is what's his name? Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, and yeah, he was at Boise State, and I'll never forget. I think there was a game when they played Oklahoma, and they came out with all these gadget plays, and I think Kellen Moore was on that team. I think against Oklahoma. I think it was 2000. What year was that?
The UFL.
What's that? Anyway, Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator for the Eagles.
The United Football League.
Yeah, what about it?
It kicks off in March.
Yeah.
They just put that on the TV.
Oh. Well, there's a new league starting up in Mexico. There's 30 million Mexicans that love American football.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. You can look it up. We're going to start a new professional league in Mexico, American Football League. Yep, I think I'm going to predict, and I wasn't right. I predicted that Kansas City would win, but obviously they didn't even come close to winning this one. And I'm going to make another prediction. I was wrong with that prediction. I'll make another prediction. This is it for Kansas City. This is it. Done, fini. That's my prediction. If it was close, I wouldn't say that, but this is a psychological smackdown. I mean, I didn't even like the way the guy returned the kickoff. You got to go straight, not Eric Allen. Oh, by the way, there's 4 inductees into the Hall of Fame. Eric Allen. This is the NFL Hall of Fame, Brian, which you know a lot about. I'm just going to make a comment here. It's Eric Allen, Jared Allen, and Antonio Gates and Sterling Sharp. And I don't know why, Brian, Jim Plunkett is not in the NFL Hall of Fame. I don't know why you're not in the Hall of Fame, but Brian, why isn't Jim Plunkett, who 2 Super Bowl wins, and these 4 guys, great players, I looked it up, none of them won Super Bowls. None of them. Jim Plunkett, 2 Super Bowls victories. He's not in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Well,
What is it?
I think he should be. But if you look at his career, right?
Okay, let's look at his career. I'm going to say NFL Rookie of the Year on his back most of the time at New England. Then NFL Comeback Player of the Year. NFL MVP in the Super Bowl and 2 Super Bowl rings. I don't care what the stats are.
How many times was he All-Pro?
Well, okay.
I'm not talking about. I'm saying if that is part of the calibration, how many times was he All-Pro?
Yeah. Well, You know what? In Jim Plunkett's case, there's an exception. As I said,
I would agree with you.
Oh, I know, but it's the writer. Who are the people that vote on the NFL Hall of Fame?
The writers?
What do they know about football?
They don't know anything about football.
You got it. So shame on you, writers. I hope this goes viral and you watch. Unfortunately, they're probably not going to stay at the 3 hour and 24-minute mark, but I probably should do a little clip here. Shame on all you writers. You don't know American football. Jim Plunkett should have been in this Hall of Fame years ago. And then they did the same thing to Kenny Stabler, and they put him in when he passed away. They did the same thing with Cliff Branch. They put him in when he passed away. Just dumb writers. Don't know the game. So that's my 2 cents worth. And if you agree with me, you can make a comment. Let's see. Any comments on that? Nope. No comments. But we still got people. We still got people watching. I can see the numbers.
Intercepted by the Eagles. Oh my gosh, he's going to run it back for a touchdown. Oh my gosh. He ran it back for a touchdown.
Once upon a time, before there was even a pro football team. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over.
Wow.
Yep. That's it. Well, Brian, we could end this broadcast early if you want. I would hate to do it.
No, you got it.
You want to watch the confetti come down.
You want the ugly end.
Yeah, I think Lilia, by the way, she's already probably gone to bed. And Pam, no, Lily's on the East Coast. Pam is still up. But it's almost 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. And the Kansas City Chiefs are getting a psychological smackdown. That's what I have to put psychological because they may not overcome this because they should have given them a better game. And for whatever reason, what would you say, Brian? What was the contributing factor? Why did the Kansas City Chiefs not perform like we thought they would?
What do I think?
Yeah, what if you were analyzing what caused this Chiefs team to perform like they have this evening?
I said it before, Super Bowl fatigue, because your season is just so much longer than everyone else's.
Right.
Some of these ball players and their playoff checks aren't even near what their regular season checks are. And they'd rather be on vacation. They don't make, if they didn't have their contract written properly, as opposed to making $150,000 a game, they may be only making $25,000 a game.
Yeah.
And so, which would be goofy, but it happens. And they're like, I just want this season to be over.
Right.
So,
I feel sorry for. I'm just going to pull up the Kansas City Chiefs roster because there's some players on this team that will never, ever see a Super Bowl again. This is it.
so what?
Okay, Brian.
What?
I know you're going to say so what, but I'm just trying to make a point.
What point?
I'm going to make a point that, and I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just going to say that you've got.
This isn't a playground.
I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 rookies on this team. One of them is a really good player, Xavier Worthy. He's from Texas, really good receiver. He's the one that kind of jumps out at me, and this might be. It's really sad. Xavier's last shot.
It's not sad.
Okay. All right.
You put your big boy shoulder pads on. If you lost, you lost. Period.
I understand that. I'm just saying when you look back.
Look back on what?
I'm just saying. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want it. That's one thing you don't, just to let everyone know, you never want to get your left tackle upset. You never want to do that.
Not upset.
Because I know, and just to let everyone know, there's a story that some of you may know. When I was a freshman in the locker at Stanford University, and Sir Brian Holloway was a junior.
Kansas City just scored.
Of course. And in that, I was in the locker room. So Kansas City just scored, so we have to do it again. There you go.
2 minutes and 54 seconds.
There we are. So I'm in the locker room, and I was talking Brian's ear off. I was talking about something. I was talking, and Brian was sitting there, and he didn't want to hear me talking. So Brian got up, picked me up, turned me on my head, and put me in a garbage can. So that's why you do not want to upset your left tackle. You want to stay on his good side. So I will not continue saying I feel sorry for the rookies, the Chiefs rookies, but I'm just going to say this might be their only shot. That's all I'm going to say.
So what?
Do you think Andy Reid's going to retire?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was ugly.
I think this is and you know what? This might be Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore, who's the offensive coordinator, might be a guy that would say, hey, I can take over for the Chiefs. That would be an interesting move. Kellen Moore he's going to be the winning offensive coordinator, and he's a pretty innovative guy. Well, there's one of the rookies. Is Brown a rookie? Let me see if Brown's a rookie. No. I'll have to let me look at the players. Brown is do it that way. His name's Hollywood Brown.
Who?
Number 5, Hollywood Brown. Wow. Out of Oklahoma. It's his 6th year in the league. He just scored a touchdown, and that might, just to let everyone know, that might be his last time he touches the ball in the Super Bowl. The chances are that's it.
They tried onside, didn't work.
No. I'm happy for the Eagles coach. He's done a good job. The Eagles head coach.
Wow.
What happened?
Just been shot. Ooh, they're getting ready to dump the Gatorade on the coach.
Oh, yeah. You know what? The little story on that Gatorade. Do you know that George Allen, the great George Allen, the coach for the Los Angeles Rams in the 60s and then the Washington Redskins, he, toward the end of his career, he became the head coach at Long Beach State. And they won a game at Long Beach State, and they poured the ice on him. And he was probably he might have been in his 70s. And he caught a cold from the ice, and I believe he died of pneumonia. True story.
Wow.
So if your coach is this coach, the Philadelphia coach is young, but you wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to throw ice on Andy Reid. So maybe it's a blessing that, because he would have gotten probably ice on him. Is Andy Reid, how old is Andy Reid? Let's see. I'll find out. How old is Andy? By the way, did you know Andy Reid won was it punt, pass, and kick?
When, in 1940?
No, in 1970, the punt, pass, and kick contest, which I remember. I think it was, 1970 was on Monday Night Football. And he won. He was on national television. He was 12 years old, Andy Reid. And he won it on Monday Night Football. Andy Reid is 66. Oh, 66. He'll turn 67 on March 19th.
Wow.
And Andy Reid, punt, pass, and kick. Remember that, Brian? Punt, pass, and kick?
No.
You know, I think it was run by the NFL.
I didn't compete in that. I remember.
I did. I competed in it. Yep. In 1971, at the age of 13, Andy Reid participated in the NFL's punt, pass, and kick competition. And there's a memorable video. If you want to look it up on YouTube, it's on there, that shows Reid. And he was much bigger than the other 13-year-olds. I mean, he was a big kid at 13. And he was, the footage become a popular highlight. And you can go see him. You can watch it on YouTube. 13 years old, Andy Reid winning the punt, pass, and kick. Little did they know that he would end up.
I think this is it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not going to play the song anymore, but Brian, this has been fantastic. This is our second year in a row, and I'm so happy that we did it again. We had actually, it's amazing because I see a ticker here, and our numbers haven't gone down. People have actually, I think they've turned off Tom Brady, and some of them are listening to you and me talk about football. Because there's things that we say here that Tom Brady could never say.
Well, of course not.
And so we're gonna, I guess, Brian, you get the last word all the time because you're the man. You're the left tackle. You got the blind side.
You saw a fantastic, very determined, revenge-filled, blunt trauma ball game where Kansas City Chiefs got beat down hard. And that's how it was at Super Bowl 59.
Thank you, brother.
Wow.
So many people watching this one tonight. Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, as the World Cup will be back in the States. Lady Gaga started off our broadcast with that emotional song on Bourbon Street.
Is that all? Is that all, Brian? You got anything else?
Paul McCartney's there. How about that?
Did you? Oh, is Ringo with him?
I don't know. Is
By the way,
Ringo still alive?
oh yeah, Ringo's alive and Paul's alive. George Harrison and obviously John Lennon are up there playing in the sky. But the Beatles, do you know they just came out with a new song? The Beatles? Did you know that?
No.
Yep, they came out with a new song. And I actually heard it on the Grammys. The Grammys.
Okay.
And I don't know how they were able to do it, but
Well, I'm a Grammy this and say good night.
all right. Well, Brian, thank you, brother. And again, if there's anyone you want to dedicate this show to, you can. I again want to.
Another touchdown. Kansas
What?
City did.
Kansas City scored another touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to affect the spread. We do know that sometimes there's funny business going on when there's a spread. What was the point spread in this game? It must have been. I think it must have been pick'em. Does anybody know? Let's see if anyone wants to see. Oh, Lilia. Lilia says here she has 2 messages. She gives kisses. Thank you, Lilia. And then she says, oh, look at that message for you, Brian.
All righty then.
And then the final message from Lilia. See you soon.
Okay, beautiful.
We love you, Lilia. Brian, again, I'm going to let you have the last word, and we're gonna break. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we'll see you later. What a great show. What a good time.
Love you, Brian.
All right, peace out.
See you.